Chapter 16:24. Yang Hongwu walked into the courtyard. "Stop hiding and come out," Yang Hongwu said. "Since you want to kill me, why hide?" As expected of the person who can break the seal. As expected of the kid that Elder Pang thinks highly of. "You discovered us." A voice was heard. The one leading the voice was one of the elders in charge of the seal. "Elder Pang Yi, Pang Zhong, you want to kill me?" Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. "Is this Elder Pang's idea?" "I don't want to kill you either," Pang Zhong said. "However, your existence is too dangerous for us. You can break the seal. Even if the possibility is very small, you will still die." Yang Hongwu smiled when he heard this. This was within his expectations. "I knew that you would make a move on me eventually." "Brother Yang, I'm sorry." Pang Zhong sighed. He admired Yang Hongwu very much. After all, he was a peerless genius. It would be great if such a genius was part of the Pang clan. There's no need for that. However, do you really think that you can kill me? Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. This place has been sealed by the formation. You won't be able to leave in a short period of time. Moreover, there are so many of us here. You will definitely die, Pang Zhong said. You should end your own life. Yang Hongwu laughed. That's impossible. I will never commit suicide. If you want me to die, you could try it yourself. Also, I can tell you, don't be too naive. Although I strengthened the seal, if something happens to me, I will not be able to break it. If something happens to me, the seal will completely collapse. Are you telling the truth? Pang Ye's expression changed when he heard this. If this was true, then they really couldn't kill him. Impossible. I've already checked the seal. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't listen to this kid's nonsense. He's just trying to stall for time, Pang Long said coldly. I never lie. Moreover, do you really think that you can deal with me? You're too naive. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. You want to trap me with such a simple formation? You guys think too much of me. With that, Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and several rays of light shot out of the void. When these rays of light hit the array instantly shattered. Impossible. This is impossible. I don't know how the dragon trapping formation could be broken so easily. This is absolutely impossible. Pang Lung cried out loudly when he saw the formation he had set up being shattered instantly. He could not believe it at all. This formation was his most powerful formation. Even if all of them worked together, it would take at least 2 hours to break the array. On the other hand, Yang Hongwu was only one person. It was impossible for him to break the array in such a short period of time. However, the truth was right in front of him, and he had no choice but to believe it. So what if you broke the formation? You're still going to die. Pang Lung waved the wooden staff in his hand. The wooden staff emitted an intense light that shot towards Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu sneered and punched out in a domineering manner. The 10-direction killing fist gathered a terrifying killing intent. This punch was extremely sharp, and the terrifying killing intent seemed to be able to freeze time and space. Bam! When the two forces collided, a powerful impact instantly erupted. Yang Hongwu did not move at all, while Pang Lung was forced back by more than 10 feet. One could imagine how big the gap was. You want to kill me with just this little bit of ability? What a joke, Yang Hongwu said coldly. Pang Lung was forced back so easily, and he did not even have the upper hand. Immediately, his face turned gloomy, and he flew into a rage out of humiliation. Let's attack together and kill this little bastard. Don't act rashly. Pang Zhong stopped them at this moment. We have to inform the old ancestor about this matter first. If what he said is true, and we kill him and release that terrifying evil spirit, we'll be in big trouble. That's right. We must consider this matter carefully. We cannot be so careless. This matter is of great importance, and we must be cautious. Elder Pang Yi nodded. That brat is merely stalling for time. How could killing him cause the seal to collapse? I've already checked the seal, and there's absolutely no problem. That seal will last for several thousand years, and nothing will happen to it, Pang Lung said. Sigh, it seems that it's too late for you all to kill me. At this moment, Yang Hongwu sighed. Right now, you all should be thinking about how to survive. What? Pang Ye's expression changed. At this moment, several attacks erupted from the darkness. These attacks were extremely tyrannical and were headed straight for Pang Yi and the others. There's help. Pang Zhong's expression darkened. Be careful. Everyone be careful. Someone's sneak attacking us. Die. Pang Lung was caught off guard and was instantly killed. Several black-clothed men surrounded Pang Yi and the others and attacked them. With Pang Lung dead, Pang Zhong and the others were in imminent danger and had fallen into a bitter battle. Meanwhile, Yang Hongwu stood to the side and watched the show. Yang Hongwu, I've misjudged you. I didn't expect you to be the lackey of that evil spirit and have come to release it. Pang Zhong slashed out with his blade, forcing back one of the black-clothed men, and charged towards Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu waved his hand. An array of light erupted, forming a shield that blocked Pang Zhong outside. Think what you want. Let me tell you, these people have nothing to do with me, and I don't know them. However, you all should hurry up. I feel that something has happened on the other side of the seal. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. Yang Hongwu indeed did not know these people. However, Yang Hongwu could feel the evil energy from them. These people were indeed here to break the seal. Damn it. Pang Zhong's expression changed drastically. Haha, you all can continue. I'm leaving. Yang Hongwu turned around, and with a leap, he disappeared from where he stood. Damn it, kill them, kill them. Pang Zhong roared. We have to hurry and help the old ancestor. After Yang Hongwu left, he was extremely curious about these people. Right now, what he wanted to know the most was how to leave this place. After all, that was the most important thing. Of course, Yang Hongwu did not want to release that evil spirit. That evil spirit was truly too terrifying. With his current strength, there was no way he could fight against it. That evil spirit was probably holding a grudge against him because of what had happened previously. If it was released, he would be in deep trouble. Chapter 1625. Sister, let's go. I'll stop them. No, I'll stop them. Yang Hongwu looked over and saw that it was Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren. The two of them were being pursued. These people were the black-clothed men who had just entered Shepherding Town. Yang Hongwu naturally wouldn't sit idly by and watch Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren die. With a flash, he appeared before Pang Liren. With a punch, he forced the black-clothed man who was attacking Pang Liren several steps back. Big brother Yang Hongwu, it's you. I knew you'd definitely come to save us. Pang Liren was pleasantly surprised to see Yang Hongwu. Are you two all right? Asked Yang Hongwu. Pang Liren shook her head. Fortunately, big brother Yang Hongwu came in time. We're fine. Yes, thank you, big brother Yang Hongwu. You're not a member of the Pang family. The leader of the black-robed men who were chasing after Pang Liren and her sister narrowed his eyes at Yang Hongwu and said, If you want to leave, get out of my way. Since you're not a member of the Pang clan, I don't want to fight you. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and looked at him. You know how to leave this place? I do. Hand these two women to me, and I'll tell you how to leave this place, said Ding Jian to Yang Hongwu. Big brother Yang Hongwu. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan's expressions changed slightly when they heard that. They looked at Yang Hongwu. They were truly worried that Yang Hongwu would attack them in order to leave this place. Yang Hongwu smiled and patted the two women. He could naturally see their worry. Don't worry. How could I possibly do such a thing? Although I want to leave this place, I won't do such a thing as biting the hand that feeds me. The two women breathed a sigh of relief when they heard that. Yang Hongwu looked at the black-clothed Ding Dian and said, Since you know how to leave this place, that's great. Tell me how to leave, and I can spare your life. What a big tone. Ding Dian's expression darkened. He was a half-step divine emperor, while Yang Hongwu's strength was only at the 5th layer divine monarch realm. Although Yang Hongwu's strength was very strong, Ding Jian was still a half-step divine emperor realm expert. How could he not be enraged when he was threatened? You're courting death, you know that. So, you don't want to tell me. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. If you don't want to tell me, then I'll make you tell me. As soon as he finished speaking, Yang Hongwu made his move. His whole body instantly shot out like an arrow leaving the bow. His speed was astonishing. Humph! Ding Dian snorted and a cold light burst out from his eyes. Courting death. I'll kill him. You guys capture the two women. Remember, I want them alive. Ding Dian took out a huge axe and a huge aura burst out. He waved the axe in front of him, splitting mountain and splitting earth. This axe was like a bolt of lightning, tearing a crack in the void. The domineering power was terrifying to the extreme. Everywhere it passed, everything was annihilated. The power of this attack was imaginable. This kid is dead. He dares to provoke Ding Dian. Isn't he courting death? The others discussed and rushed towards Pang Liren and the other women. Bang! A loud sound was heard, and a figure was sent flying. That kid is dead, Brother Yang. At this time, Pang Liren and the other women shouted. They were worried. Haha, you two little girls, just give up. That brat is dead. Under Boss Ding Dian's axe, there won't be any survivors. Someone laughed loudly. That's right. That kid overestimated himself. How dare he provoke Ding Dian? He's courting death. Accept your fate. Another person said and reached out to grab Pang Liren. Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan forgot to dodge at this time. They were completely focused on Yang Hongwu. No, Brother Yang, he'll be fine. Pang Li Juan murmured. Brother Yang still wants to take us out of here to play. He'll be fine. You're too weak. At this time, a voice was heard. As the dust dispersed, the crowd saw that the person who was sent flying was not Yang Hongwu, but their boss, Ding Dian. Impossible. How can this be? They were all dumbfounded. Brother Yang, you're fine. That's great. Pang Liren and the other women were happy to see that Yang Hongwu was fine. Cough, cough. Ding Dian got up. His hand that was holding the axe was trembling. There was blood at the corner of his mouth. He was seriously injured. Who are you? Ding Dian stared at Yang Hongwu and said, Do you know what it means to stop us? Yang Hongwu smiled disdainfully. You don't deserve to know who I am. As for where you came from, I don't care. I just want to know how to leave this place. Tell me the method, and I'll spare your life. Surrender now, or I'll kill these two women. At this time, one of Ding Dian's subordinates, Tan Zhan, said. Yang Hongwu snorted and disappeared. In the next moment, Tan Zhan's hands were cut off. Yang Hongwu grabbed Tan Zhan's neck. He looked at Tan Zhan coldly and said, Do you know that I hate it when people threaten me the most? As he spoke, Yang Hongwu exerted force in his hand and instantly broke Tan Zhan's neck. The others took a few steps back. Their faces were filled with fear. The speed was too fast. They actually did not see clearly how the other party appeared in front of Tan Zhan. Terrifying, too terrifying. If he wanted to kill, they had no way to stop him at all. Ding Dian smiled bitterly. He did not expect to meet such a terrifying monster. He was clearly a 5th-level divine lord, and there was not much curse power on him. Obviously, he had just entered here not long ago, but his strength was so terrifying. A 5th-level divine lord cultivation, but his combat power was comparable to a divine emperor realm martial artist. Who was he? How could he be so monstrous? Could he be a hidden, peerless genius of the Temple of Common Life? After throwing Tan Zhan away, Yang Hongwu looked at Ding Dian. What's your choice? I admit that you're very strong, but you're not invincible. Do you know how terrifying the power behind us is? Ding Dian said, If you hand over these two women, I can recommend you to become one of us and obtain supreme glory. Yang Hongwu smiled. This guy, even at this time, he still did not give up and wanted to rope him in. He was too naive. Chapter 16:26. You want to kill me? You'll never know how to leave this place. Plus, you'll die if you kill me. Ding Dian looked at Yang Hongwu coldly. He didn't seem to be afraid of death at all. Is that so? Yang Hongwu grabbed Ding Dian's neck. Don't you know that there's a powerful skill in this world that can take away one's memories? Soul-sucking skill. Ding Dian's face changed. There is only one way to take away one's memories in this world, and that was the soul-sucking skill. Using the soul-sucking skill to take away one's memories was an extremely cruel secret skill. Seems like you know about it, too. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. Did you say it yourself? Let me use the soul-sucking skill. Ha! Ding Dian suddenly laughed and said loudly, The soul-sucking skill isn't omnipotent. Do you think that you can use the soul-sucking skill to take away my memories? You're delusional. Wishful thinking. As he spoke, Ding Dian's body started to change. Want to self-destruct? Yang Hongwu snorted. This Ding Jian wasn't afraid of death at all. He wanted to die together with Yang Hanwu. However, how could Yang Hanwu let him do as he wished? Can you do it? Naive. Yang Hanwu unleashed a seal that landed on Ding Dian's body. In an instant, Ding Dian's magic power and even his spiritual strength were sealed. It was impossible for him to self-destruct. Ding Dian's subordinates were terrified when they saw this scene. What a terrifying skill. His strength was too strong. Big Brother Yang, you're so powerful. I knew that Big Brother Yang would be fine. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan's eyes were filled with admiration after seeing Yang Hongwu's display of power. Let me see what's the secret. Yang Hongwu cast a secret skill, wanting to check Ding Dian's memories. However, when Yang Hongwu's consciousness entered Ding Dian's mind, it was met with great resistance. A domineering force blocked Yang Hongwu's consciousness outside. What a domineering force. It's actually a seal. Haha, kid, give up. You can't check my memories. As he spoke, Ding Jian lost his life. Who's behind him? Even I can't open the seal. Yang Hongwu looked at the lifeless Ding Jian and felt extremely depressed. A moment of carelessness had actually caused Ding Jian to die. Even his soul had dissipated. To be able to silently kill him like this, the person behind this was definitely not someone. Yang Hongwu sighed silently. In fact, he had already fallen into a huge vortex the moment he had entered Shepherding Town. It would be impossible for him to stay out of this. If you don't want to die, then tell me how to leave this place. Yang Hongwu looked at the others and said, I don't have so much time to talk to you here, Yang Hongwu said coldly. What about you? I don't know. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. The person who Yang Hongwu pointed at immediately cried and knelt on the ground. Snot and tears flowed down his face. Under Yang Hongwu's strong pressure and the terrifying murderous aura, he completely collapsed. Then you have no reason to live. Yang Hongwu punched out again, killing him as well. Only one person was left. The last person broke down as well. He was simply a god of death. He was a terrifying god of death. He was even more terrifying than the devil. I'll talk, he shouted in horror. He looked at Yang Hongwu and looked at him. Speak. Before he could finish his sentence, blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. He lost his life and fell to the ground. Damn it, Yang Hongwu cursed in his heart. These people had been planted with a special mark. Once they were asked something special or searched their memories, they would die. The other party's background was too powerful. Those who could do this were definitely as rare as phoenix feathers and Qilin horns. However, Yang Hongwu also knew that since the other party dared to break the seal and save the terrifying evil expert, how could they be so simple? Perhaps they were the subordinates of the evil demon. These people should be hiding in the dark. Before their leader, or rather, their king, escaped, they would not expose themselves. After all, they should have an enemy. Their enemy was also very powerful. Otherwise, how could they seal the evil demon? How did he die? Pang Li asked. Who are these people? Are they also from the outside world? Yang Hongwu nodded. Yes, they should be from the outside world. As for who they are, I don't know. Let's go find Elder Pang. He might know. Then let's go, Pang Lijuan said. The 3 of them walked towards the seal. Soon, they arrived at the sealed black tower. However, at this time, there was not a single person in the seal. What's going on? Why is there no one here? Yang Hongwu frowned. This was a crucial place. The terrifying evil demon was sealed under this black tower. Elder Pang and a few other elders were guarding the seal here. However, there was no one here now. This was strange. The old ancestor and the elders are not here. Did something happen? Pang Li asked. It can't be. The old ancestor is very powerful. How could something happen to him? There is no life force here. It's strange. Yang Hongwu felt that something was wrong. It did not make sense. There was no life force here. If the other party appeared here, it was impossible that there were no traces of battle. This was too strange. Could it be that the old ancestor and the others went to chase after the enemy? Pang Lijuan asked. That's impossible. If the old ancestor and the others went to chase after the enemy, they should have left someone to guard this place. This seal is the most important, Pang Li said. Maybe they fell for a trick to lure the tiger away from the mountain. Pang Li Juan said, "No, that's not right." Yang Hongwu looked around, and the corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. "Big brother Yang, what did you find?" Hearing Yang Hongwu say this, Pang Liren hurriedly asked, "Big brother Yang, you found something? Tell us quickly." Pang Li Juan said, "Sir, come out. Don't hide anymore." Yang Hongwu said, "Big brother Yang, who did you find? There is clearly no one here." Pang Li Juan said, Chapter 16:27. Brother Yang, are you mistaken? How could there be an illusory array here? There's nothing wrong with it, Pang Liren said. That's because your cultivation is too weak, your mental energy isn't strong enough, and you don't have any techniques. Thus, you're unable to see through the difference. Although this illusory formation is very good, it would not be easy for others to see through it. However, they've encountered it. However, for me, this illusory array is nothing in my eyes, Yang Hongwu said with a faint smile. Still not coming out? Yang Hongwu saw that the other party was still hiding there and did not come out. Yang Hongwu could not help but snort. Looks like you're courting death. Having said that, Yang Hongwu took out the Destruction Heavenly Palace. Majestic spiritual power poured into the Destruction Heavenly Palace. Then, the Destruction Heavenly Palace charged forward. Boom! There was a loud sound, and a ray of light bombarded the Destruction Heavenly Palace. The original scenery disappeared. The original stone forest was gone, replaced by a wasteland. A figure appeared in front of him. He blocked the attack of Yang Hongwu's Destruction Heavenly Palace. He stared at Yang Hongwu. "Who are you? How could you see through my illusory array?" "Who I am is not important." Yang Hongwu looked at him and said, "The important thing is that you're my enemy now, or rather, my prisoner now." "Prisoner? What a big tone. I admit that although your strength is not bad, you want to capture me? That's a fool's dream." Huolang snorted coldly, not putting Yang Hongwu in his eyes. "You think you're very powerful just because you can break my formation. You're just a 5th-level divine monarch. In my eyes, you're just an ant." Huolang's tone was very arrogant. Looking at Yang Hongwu with disdain, Yang Hongwu smiled. This guy was not weak. He was a half-step divine emperor. Moreover, he was also a formation master. His attainment in formation was not bad. However, as a formation master, he had always been aloof and arrogant. Moreover, he was a half-divine emperor, so he had never been defeated. Therefore, he became arrogant and thought that he was very, very powerful. In Yang Hongwu's eyes, this kind of person was simply unable to withstand a single blow. His innate talent was not bad. If his attitude was right, he might have a chance to break through to the divine emperor realm. To be able to block one attack from my heavenly palace of destruction, your strength could be considered passable. But how many times can you withstand? Yang Hongwu said, and the heavenly palace of destruction appeared once more. This time, the heavenly palace of destruction was even bigger, filled with a destructive aura. This time, the destruction heavenly palace's aura was more than twice as strong as before. The overbearing destruction power filled the area within 100 feet. Huolang's expression changed when he sensed the terrifying aura of destruction. If the previous attack had not been much of a threat to him, this one would have given him a huge amount of pressure. This attack was definitely not something that could be blocked as easily as the previous one. Heavenly Palace of Destruction, go! Following Yang Hongwu's shout, the Heavenly Palace of Destruction attacked Huolang once again. The huge palace was like a giant mountain, blotting out the sky and covering the sun as it moved towards Huolang. Universe Strike! Huolang took out a treasure. It was a treasured spear. He roared furiously, and a dazzling light burst out. The spear pierced towards Yang Hongwu's Heavenly Palace of Destruction. The two forces collided in an instant, creating a terrifying shockwave. Following a loud explosion, the Heavenly Palace of Destruction paused for a moment. However, it did not slow down and continued to move forward. The spear in Huolang's hand was blown away, and he was pushed back dozens of feet, crashing into a huge rock. The huge rock instantly shattered into pieces. At this moment, Huolang crawled up in a sorry state. He looked at Yang Hongwu with eyes full of fear. At this moment, he realized how terrifying Yang Hongwu was. Yang Hongwu was much stronger than him. If he did not use the formation, he would not be Yang Hongwu's match. This was a genius, a monstrous genius. Although he was only a 5th divine monarch, his combat strength was definitely comparable to a peak half-step divine emperor expert. He might even be stronger than a peak half-step divine emperor. He could be considered as an invincible existence under the divine emperor realm. What other tricks do you have? Use them all. Otherwise, you won't have a chance. Yang Hongwu said, I admit that you're strong and a peerless genius. However, you're too arrogant. Huo Lang crawled up and said, if you attacked me while I was injured, I wouldn't have been able to withstand your attack. However, you've missed your chance. Therefore, you're going to die here. However, I'll leave your corpse intact. With that, Huo Lang put away his spear and waved his hand, causing a disc array to appear. As soon as the disc array appeared, it began to shine brightly. The entire sky was illuminated by the formation plate's light. I'm a formation master. Fighting is not my forte. Formations are my forte. Huo Lang shouted. The formation plate enlarged and turned into a dazzling light that shot up to the sky. The moment the light from the disc array shot into the sky, the entire world changed. The bright day turned into night in an instant. Countless stars appeared in the sky, and each of those stars contained a mysterious power. Boy, it's your honor to die under the heavenly cycle star formation, Huo Lang said coldly. His tone was brimming with confidence. Formation, heavenly cycle star formation. What should we do? Hearing this, Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan's expressions changed drastically. They were extremely worried. Big Brother Yang, you must have a way to break this formation, right? Pang Lijuan looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Haha, break the formation? He's just a 5th-level divine lord, and he wants to break the formation? I admit that the treasure is very powerful. It's a supreme treasure. However, it's absolutely impossible to break my heavenly cycle star formation. This formation of mine has boundless power. Even a divine emperor expert can't break it unless there are 365 peak divine lord experts working together. There's only 3 of you. Moreover, there's only one 5th-level divine lord expert. Although his strength is comparable to a half-step divine emperor, it's absolutely unrealistic to break the formation. Chapter 16:28. As he spoke, Yang Hongwu took out several pills in his hand and instantly shot them out. These were formation-breaking pills. The instant the formation-breaking pills were shot out, they released a dazzling light. Like a dazzling star, they bombarded the eye of the star array. With a loud explosion, the light burst out, almost making people unable to open their eyes. In the next instant, the array that Huo Lang set up instantly exploded. Huo Lang's array was broken and instantly suffered a backlash. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Looking at Yang Hongwu, his eyes were filled with fear. He no longer had the confidence from before. My array was actually broken so easily. He looked at Yang Hongwu. In addition to fear, there was also disbelief in his eyes. Just who was this person in front of him? Not only was his combat strength so terrifying, but his attainments in array formations were also so shocking. Monster, this was simply a monster. Who the hell are you? Which great world are you from? Huo Lang looked at Yang Hongwu. It was absolutely impossible for such a monstrous genius to appear in the divine realm. I'm from the lower realm, Sanxing continent, Yang Hongwu said with a faint smile. Impossible? This is absolutely impossible. How could you be from the lower realm? Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Huo Lang was even more unwilling to believe it. What kind of joke was this? How could such a monstrous and powerful genius be from the lower realm? If the people from the lower realm were all so monstrous and powerful, then wouldn't the divine realm have long been conquered by the people from the lower realm? And the current divine realm was controlled by the 13 great forces. None of the martial artists who ascended from the lower realm had a good ending. Most of them were basically reduced to slaves. He was very clear about this point. Nothing is impossible. It's just that you're ignorant. Yang Hongwu looked at Huo Lang and said, Do you want to live? Naturally, I want to live. At this moment, Huolang was already seriously injured and had no way to resist. Even his greatest trump card was unable to deal with Yang Hongwu. He knew very well that his life was now in the hands of Yang Hongwu. He had thought that he would die without a doubt. But now, he had not expected that Yang Hongwu would actually give him a chance. How could he not be surprised? If one could live, who would be willing to die? Very good. Yang Hongwu looked at him and said, "As long as you tell me how to leave Shepherding Town, I'll let you live. I won't kill you." Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Huolang's expression changed. Seeing the change in Huolang's expression, Yang Hongwu knew that this was not an easy task. It seemed that there was a great secret behind this. Otherwise, why didn't Ding Jian and the others tell them the way to leave this place? After a long while, Huolang looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "Just kill me. I won't tell you." Is that so? Huolang's words did not surprise Yang Hongwu. After all, he had already experienced Ding Jian and the others. Thus, it was not strange that Huolang would rather die than tell him the way to leave this place. However, the more this was the case, the more Yang Hongwu became curious. This space was cursed and sealed. Yang Hongwu knew this very well. Yang Hongwu had investigated this space before. It was very difficult to break the seal of this space. Furthermore, there was a curse. Yang Hongwu had also encountered a curse before. Furthermore, it was a very powerful curse. However, the power of the curse here seemed to be very special. It was even more powerful than the curse Yang Hongwu had encountered before. After all, Yang Hongwu had encountered the origin of all curses back then. However, that thing had already escaped. Could it be that the curse here was similar to the origin of all curses? Yang Hongwu said to Huolang, "Do you know that sometimes death is even more blissful than living? Sometimes death is also a kind of release, a kind of happiness." Yang Hongwu threatened Huolang. This brat did not seem to be very tactful. "No matter what you say, I won't tell you. Not only me, even if you capture any of us, we won't tell you," said Huolang as he stared at Yang Hongwu. "What?" Yang Hongwu looked at Huolang. He knew that he was not lying. "Could it be that if you tell me this secret, it will be even more terrifying than death?" Yang Hongwu could not understand. What was more terrifying than death, or a life worse than death? "Curse," said Huolang. Huolang said, "It's a terrifying curse. You don't know how terrifying and powerful that curse is." When Huolang said these words, his eyes were filled with fear. "It seems that I still have to let you have a taste of my methods. I'll let you know what a life worse than death is." Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a cold light as he prepared to attack. "Wait!" Huolang hurriedly shouted when he saw that Yang Hongwu was about to attack. "What? Have you changed your mind?" "No." Huolang shook his head. Huolang shook his head and said, "I'm just reminding you that these two women are not people you can protect. They are people my master wants. You are a genius, a monstrous genius with great strength. In the future, you will definitely become a peerless expert. However, the prerequisite is that you cannot offend that existence. If you offend him, you will be finished. As for the secret of leaving this place, it's impossible for you to know. If you want to leave this place, the only way is to open the seal and release the one sealed here. The seal in here, the curse here, will break on its own. You're here to capture us, sisters?" Pang Liren's expression changed. She was very surprised. "Why do you want to capture us, sisters?" "That's right. We sisters don't seem to know you," Pang Li Juan said. "Big brother Yang, you won't abandon us, right?" Pang Liren looked at Yang Hongwu. Her eyes were filled with nervousness, as if she was afraid that Yang Hongwu would really abandon them. Yang Hongwu smiled and patted her head. "Don't worry. How can I abandon you? Even if I want to leave this place, I will take you with me." At this point, Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly in his heart. These two girls seemed to have an inexplicable attraction that made him involuntarily say such words. Chapter 16:29. "There's nothing bad about this place," said Pang Li Juan. "No, it's not good at all. It's better outside." Pang Li said, "Big sister, if you don't want to leave, Big brother Yang can take me away." "No, I want to be with Big brother Yang." The two women immediately grabbed onto Yang Hongwu's arms one on each side. Young Hongwu could only smile bitterly. I'm very curious. Why do you want to capture these two sisters? Young Hongwu looked at Huolang. You want to tell me how to leave this place? That shouldn't be a problem, right? If you tell me the truth, I can give you a quick death. Although Yang Hongwu was very depressed that he couldn't get them to tell him how to leave this place, there was nothing he could do about it. If he searched their souls and Yang Hongwu learned about it, he would definitely return empty-handed like before. They have special constitutions. The higher-ups ordered us to capture them, said Huolang. Special constitutions? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. What constitutions? Also, what power do you belong to? I don't know what sort of body constitution they have. However, the higher-ups have ordered us to capture the two of them. This time around, we have come here mainly for two missions. The first is to release that person. The second is to capture the two of them. As for us, we belong to the Burial Era sect. That's right. What kind of power is the burial cult? I've never heard of it in the Divine Realm, said Yang Hongwu. Could it be that you're not from the Divine Realm? I'm from the Divine Realm. However, the burial cult's foundation isn't in the Divine Realm. In the Divine Realm, it's merely a branch, explained Huolang. A branch? Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. He asked, who is the highest leader of your burial cult in the Divine Realm? How strong is he? How many people have entered Shepherding Town this time? The highest leader? I don't know. Huolang shook his head. He's an elder of our burial cult. He's incomparably strong. As for who he is, no one knows. I've never seen him before. As for the people who entered Shepherding Town, there are 30 of them. How's your strength? Who is taking the lead? Is it that elder of yours? Yang Hongwu asked. No, the leader is a deacon. He's also a half-step divine emperor, but he's much stronger than me. Moreover, he has a true spirit summoning talisman given to him by an elder, said Huolang. I've already said what I wanted to say. Kill me now. He said almost everything he wanted to know without any hesitation. This made Yang Hongwu frown slightly. Something was wrong. For him to tell her all this information without any hesitation, she was afraid that there was something fishy going on. What he said could not be completely trusted. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. As he spoke, Yang Hongwu released a ray of finger force. It turned into a ray of light and instantly pierced through his head. Huolang was dead. Let's go, we're going to the Stone Forest Forbidden Area now. Yang Hongwu said to Pang Liren and the other girl. Yes. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan nodded. The three of them rushed towards the Stone Forest Forbidden Area again. Not long after, Yang Hongwu and the other two finally arrived at the periphery of the Stone Forest Forbidden Area. At this moment, the entire Stone Forest Forbidden Area was filled with the smell of blood. There were many corpses in the surroundings. The entire periphery was dyed red with blood. Those people who died were all people of the Shepherding Town. They're all dead. Seeing this scene, the two girls' eyes turned red. They were extremely sad. After all, those who died were people of the Shepherding Town. Those bastards. Don't be sad, said Yang Hongwu. I will avenge them. The burial sect is too cruel. Big brother Yang, you must avenge them. Pang Liren sobbed. Don't worry. Yang Hongwu patted their shoulders and said, Come, let's go in. Elder Pang has fallen into a bitter battle. Yang Hongwu sensed several powerful auras in the Stone Forest Forbidden Area. One of the auras was very familiar. It was Elder Pang's aura. As for the other auras, two of them belonged to the two elders of the Shepherding Town. The others were all unfamiliar auras. Clearly, those unfamiliar auras belonged to the burial sect. In the Stone Forest Forbidden Area, only Elder Pang and the two elders of the Pang family were left. The others were most likely dead. Moreover, other than Elder Pang, the two elders' auras were also somewhat chaotic. They had become extremely weak. Clearly, they were unable to withstand the burial sect. Then let's quickly enter. After a few breaths, Yang Hongwu and Pang Liren entered the Stone Forest Forbidden Area. When they were about to enter the Black Tower Sealed Area, Yang Hongwu gave the two girls an aura-concealing talisman and an appearance-changing talisman. He said, Change your identities and conceal your auras. You guys are their secondary targets. After I go in, you guys just have to wait here. As Yang Hongwu spoke, he set up a formation. This formation could protect the two girls. No, big brother Yang, I want to go with you. Pang Liren said. Yes, if we're going to die, we'll die together. Pang Lijuan nodded. Yang Hongwu laughed and cried when he heard this. Why do you have so little confidence in me? Don't worry, nothing will happen. You have to believe in your big brother Yang. I have great abilities and strength. A mere burial sect is nothing in my eyes. Since you don't care, then let us go together, Pang Liren said. In short, I don't want to be separated from you. Me too. You two girls, I'm worried about you. Although I have great abilities, once a fight breaks out, I might not be able to take care of you. Yang Hongwu said. The strength of the two women was too weak. In this forbidden area of the stone forest, there were still more than 10 people from the burial religion. They were all very strong. Once a fight broke out, although he was not afraid of them, he would not be able to divert his attention to take care of the two women. Big brother Yang, don't worry. We sisters aren't that weak. Pang Liren said, we have a joint attack technique. Once we use it, even the elders won't be a match for us. All right, but you must be careful and listen to me. Yang Hongwu felt very helpless. However, since they had said so, he couldn't stop them. Soon, the three of them entered the center of the stone forest forbidden area. Chapter 16:30. Someone has come to die. An expert from the burial cult noticed Yang Hongwu's arrival. Kill him. The leader of the burial cult, Yu Minglin, said coldly. At this time, Old Pang also noticed Yang Hongwu. It's Yang Hongwu, he didn't die. He isn't with these people. An elder said. It seems we misunderstood him. We still don't know why he came here. Another elder said coldly. Maybe he came for that person. It's better to let them fight each other. Old Pang smiled bitterly. Right now, they were in an extremely disadvantageous position. No matter what, he hoped that Yang Hongwu could deal with these people from the burial cult. Otherwise, the seal would be opened and the entire world, the entire divine realm, would fall into a crisis. At this time, Yang Hongwu saw a martial artist from the burial cult walking towards him. Brat, no matter who you are, you shouldn't have appeared here today. Therefore, you will die at my hands. What big words. A mere half-step divine emperor. Are all the people from the burial cult so arrogant? Yang Hongwu looked at the martial artist in front of him and said disdainfully, You actually know about our burial cult, and you still dare to be so arrogant. Don't you know how powerful our burial cult is? That person coldly snorted and stared at Yang Hongwu. Kill yourself so you won't have to suffer. Haha, you want me to commit suicide? Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh when he heard this. Are you a clown brought here by a monkey? When that person heard this, he was furious. Although he didn't know what Yang Hongwu meant, he was certain that this brat was ridiculing him. You're courting death. That person shouted and attacked. His weapon was a pair of scissors, a huge pair of scissors. As for himself, he was ugly, short, and fat like a winter melon. This image reminded Yang Hongwu of a person. It was Yu Laosan, one of the 4 villains of the demigods and semi-devils on Earth. One had to admit that with his weapon, he was simply like Yu Laosan. Cooing crocodile, godly scissors die. With a furious roar, the huge scissors opened up, as if it had turned into an ancient giant crocodile. It tore at Yang Hongwu, wanted to bite Yang Hongwu into pieces. This attack was incomparably overbearing. His aura was so ferocious that it struck fear into the hearts of those who saw it. This ferocious aura was indeed terrifying. However, the person he was facing was Yang Hongwu and not an ordinary person. If it were other cultivators of the same level, they would indeed be extremely fearful when facing his attack. Even the weaker ones would be so frightened that they would lose their will to fight. However, Yang Hongwu was not among them. No matter how powerful, how arrogant, and how terrifying his aura was, Yang Hongwu was not worried or afraid at all. Come on, you short winter melon. You're too ugly. Yang Hongwu roared and reached out his hand. His dermic powers exploded. He opened his 5 fingers and condensed a terrifying dragon claw, reaching out from the clouds in the void. Cloud dragon claw. So what if it was an ancient giant crocodile? Was it comparable to an ancient divine dragon? Obviously, they were not on the same level. Although the ancient giant crocodile was powerful and overbearing, in fact, the ancient giant crocodile also had the bloodline of the ancient divine dragon in its body. This move, Cloud Dragon Claw, was displayed to the extreme when Yang Hongwu used it. In addition, Yang Hongwu had comprehended the power of Tao, so his strength had increased tremendously. The power of this attack was astonishing. The person facing Yang Hongwu directly felt the terrifying dragon aura that erupted from his body. This was the power of the ancient divine dragon. The huge dragon claw instantly grabbed the giant crocodile's body and then pulled it violently. With a slash sound, the giant crocodile was torn to shreds. The moment the giant crocodile was torn to shreds, Yu Lao San was instantly sent flying. He spat out blood from his mouth, and his aura became weak. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. What a powerful strength! Yu Menglan frowned. He did not expect that a mere fifth-layer divine monarch realm expert would be so powerful. Moreover, he could see that this young man was not from this space. He was an outsider like them. If he was from the Pang family, then he must be from the Pang family. It was normal for him to be strong with a low cultivation base. However, he was not from the Pang family. That was quite surprising. To be able to defeat a half-step divine emperor expert with a fifth-layer divine monarch realm cultivation base, it was obvious that he was a genius. Deacon Yu, let me kill him. The other half-step divine emperor expert, Deacon Yu, shook his head and looked at Yang Hongwu. Little brother, I don't think you're from the Pang family. How about joining my burial sect? If you join my burial sect and become a member of my burial sect, you can directly become a true disciple of my burial sect. You can even become a holy son. If you're valued by the sect leader, you can even become the young sect leader. In that case, you'll be second only to one person and above everyone else. You can obtain supreme authority and get whatever you want. Yu Menglan had a plan. If he could recruit such a genius into the burial sect, once he became a holy son, his status would also be greatly enhanced by recommending such a peerless genius. The burial sect had always lacked geniuses, especially those peerless and monstrous geniuses. For anyone in the burial sect, as long as they recruited a holy son, they would obtain great benefits. With his current cultivation base, if he recommended a holy son, his status would rise by a level and he would directly become an outer sect elder. The status of an outer court elder was one level higher than that of a deacon. Naturally, the resources they enjoyed were also incomparable. Moreover, if this young man in front of him had the potential to become a young sect leader, then it would be even more incredible. He could even become an elder of the burial sect with such merit. The elders of the burial era sect were the ones with truly lofty statuses and astonishing power. Only the deacons of the burial cult knew how terrifying the authority of an elder was. An elder of the burial cult had the authority of a medium-level world. In other words, once one became an elder, they would be granted a medium-level world by the burial cult. That was a medium world. Even though it was a medium world inferior to the divine domain, it was still a medium world. This was enough to prove how terrifying the burial sect was. The hierarchy of the burial sect was very strict. They were divided into odd jobs disciples, outer sect disciples, inner sect disciples, true disciples, and holy sons. Above the holy sons was the young sect leader. In addition, the deacons had the same status as true disciples. The outer sect elders had the same status as holy sons. As for the elders, their status was higher than holy sons. However, they couldn't compare to the young sect leader. As for the grand elders, they were only below the sect leader. Chapter 16:31. When the other people from a burial cult heard this, their expressions changed. They looked at Yang Hongwu with eyes filled with jealousy and envy. They wished they could replace him. They knew what it meant to be a true disciple of the burial cult. A true disciple of the burial cult had an extremely high status. They were equivalent to a deacon. Their status was much higher than theirs. And by becoming a true disciple of the burial cult, one could obtain unparalleled authority and countless resources. The highest status among them was merely an inner disciple of the burial cult. So, When Deacon Yu said that he wanted to recommend Yang Hongwu to become a true disciple, how could they not be envious? Haha. Yang Hongwu laughed heartily when he heard this. A true disciple wants to bribe me? Aren't you too naive? How could I, Yang Hongwu, care about a true disciple? Unless I become your burial cult's leader, that would be more like it. You have the nerve to say that I'm a true disciple? Come. Yu Menglin was furious when she heard this. She stared at Yang Hongwu and said, Brat, your name is Yang Hongwu. Do you know how powerful the burial cult is? I'm just an ordinary deacon of the Zongshi sect. Let me tell you, in the Zongshi sect, true disciples have a very high status. As long as they become strong enough and reach the godly emperor realm, they can become holy sons. As long as they don't die, they can become elders. In the Zongshi sect, an elder controls a small world. As for the supreme elders, they control a great world. You should know about great worlds, right? The divine domain is just a great world, that's all. Yang Hongwu was truly astonished when he heard Yu Menglin's words. This was too shocking. A grand elder actually controlled a major world. Then, what about the burial cult's leader? He must have also controlled a major world. This burial cult was truly not simple. If the burial era church had a lot of supreme elders, wouldn't it mean that the burial era church controlled a lot of great worlds? However, Yang Hongwu didn't believe it. If the burial cult was truly so powerful, then it was truly terrifying. If it was so powerful, why hadn't he heard of it before? When he had met Li Longjin and the others in the Odega Divine Realm, he hadn't obtained any information about the burial cult. Since the burial cult was so terrifying and powerful, there was no reason for Li Longjin not to know about it. Li Longjin was, after all, a terrifying figure. His strength was at the level of the emperor. According to Deacon Yu of the burial religion, the strength of the burial religion's supreme elders should be at least on the level of the emperor. They might even surpass the emperor. As for the church master of their world burial sect, he was likely even more frightening and powerful. Although the burial religion was powerful, Yang Hongwu was not afraid. After all, it couldn't be that the burial church would pay an enormous price and dispatch an enormous force to deal with him, right? So what? Yang Hongwu coldly looked at Deacon Yu and said, I don't put the burial religion in my eyes. Little brat, you're courting death. Do you know that? Originally, I saw that your talent was outstanding, and I wanted to recommend you to join the burial religion. However, you don't know how to appreciate my kindness. Deacon Yu looked at Yang Hongwu. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Since that's the case, you can die. Well, dead geniuses are nothing. After saying that, Deacon Yu glanced at the 3 half-step divine emperors of the burial religion. The 3 of them besieged Yang Hongwu. Elder Pang's expression changed. Yang Hongwu, they're extremely powerful. You have to be careful. Elder Pang shouted, Old man, you should take care of yourself first. Deacon Yu coldly humphed. The attacks of the 3 half-step divine emperors became even fiercer and fiercer. Elder Pang couldn't breathe under the pressure. Yang Hongwu looked at the 3 half-step divine emperors and smiled. They were just half-step divine emperors. Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid of half-step divine emperors, not to mention half-step divine emperors, not to mention 3. Even if there were 10 or 30 of them, Yang Hongwu wouldn't care. Little boy, don't worry. I will let you die a quick death. However, I will refine your soul into a soul slave for me to use. A soul slave refined by such a genius. TSK, I can't wait. It must be a peerless soul slave. One of them said, Haha, then his body will belong to me. I will refine him into a puppet. TSK, his body seems to contain boundless energy. It's the strongest body I have ever seen. His current body is even stronger than my strongest puppet. If I refine it, my puppet will be able to refine it. If I refine it, it will become even stronger and more terrifying. Even a peak divine emperor won't be able to compete with it. The other one looked at Yang Hongwu as if he was looking at a rare beauty. His eyes were filled with lust. Yang Hongwu's eyes emitted a terrifying cold light when he heard that. His killing intent instantly filled the entire stone forest. You guys are courting death. As Yang Hongwu spoke, his figure began to change. In an instant, 3 clones appeared. It was the I Chi San Qing secret technique. Now, Yang Hongwu had cultivated the I Chi San Qing secret technique to the extreme. Each of the 3 clones had 90% of Yang Hongwu's strength. One of the clones was holding a Hong Meng saber. One of the clones was holding the Destruction Heavenly Palace. The other one was surrounded by terrifying flames. He was sitting on a fire lotus. It was the karmic fire of the Red Lotus. Seeing this, Deacon Yu was stunned. The burial sex people were also shocked. Even old Pang was shocked. What kind of secret technique is this? 3 clones, 3 supreme treasures. Great treasures. This brat has so many supreme treasures. Kill him. When they saw the 3 supreme treasures, their eyes were filled with greed. Whether it was the Destruction Heaven Palace, the Hong Meng saber, or the karmic fire of the Red Lotus, each of them were incomparably precious. They were treasures that even divine emperors and experts who had surpassed divine emperors would covet. How could the burial sex people not covet them? Kill. The 3 of them instantly rushed towards Yang Hongwu's 3 clones. As for Yang Hongwu's true body, he crossed his arms and showed no signs of taking action. One of the clones was holding a Hong Meng saber and slashed it. The overbearing saber light instantly tore the space apart and cut the clones that were rushing towards him in half. One of the incarnations took out the Destruction Heavenly Palace, which burst forth with a boundless aura of destruction. The Destruction Heavenly Palace was like a meteor that could destroy the world, smashing the man into smithereens. Even his soul was annihilated by the terrifying power of destruction. The 3rd clone waved his hand, and a fireball appeared, transforming into a fire lotus that enveloped the enemy. A moment later, a miserable shriek rang out, and after 2 breaths of time, the person was reduced to nothing. His soul was incinerated, transforming into pure soul power that fused with Yang Hongwu. Chapter 1632. This clone is so powerful. Seeing Yang Hongwu's clone being so overbearing and powerful, Deacon Yu's expression changed. Elder Pang was extremely happy. Great, this is great. No matter what, to old Pang, the people from the burial sect were the greatest threat to them. Yang Hongwu, on the other hand, wasn't their enemy. After all, Yang Hongwu had helped them strengthen the seal. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu, the seal would have already been broken. Sealed land, the terrifying evil demon, had already broken out of the seal. We're saved. Our shepherding town is saved. The other elder was also very excited. Although he was being suppressed and was in danger time and time again, he was still very excited. Damn that brat. Deacon Yu looked at Yang Hongwu with a gloomy face. He did not expect Yang Hongwu to be so powerful. 3 half-step divine emperors were not his match. His 3 clones killed his 3 subordinates in just 10 breaths. Damn, if this goes on, they'll be in big trouble. The 6 of you attack together and kill him. Suddenly, Deacon Yu shouted at the 6 people beside him. Yes. The 6 of them immediately rushed towards Yang Hongwu. The 6 of them were half-step divine emperors. Moreover, they were even more powerful when they joined forces. Yang Hongwu had 3 clones. Each of them could easily kill one of them. However, the 6 of them joined forces, and it was 2 against 1. They should be able to kill him. After the 6 of them left, the pressure on Elder Pang was greatly reduced. Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan were worried when they saw the situation from afar. Sister, should we attack? No need. Let's see if Brother Yang can deal with it. If he can, we'll stay here. If he can't, we'll help him. Pang Li Juan said. Okay. Pang Liren nodded. However, the 2 of them did not know that they were about to face a great crisis. On the other side, Yang Hongwu's lips curled into a smile as he looked at the 6 people who were charging towards him aggressively. This is interesting. However, it's just 6 of you. It's not enough. Yang Hongwu's mind moved, and the 3 incarnations instantly turned into 3 rays of light and merged into his body. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and rays of light appeared in the void. A formation shot up to the sky. Formation, this Deacon Yu was an experienced and knowledgeable person. How could he not notice it? Not only Deacon Yu and the others, even Elder Pang was shocked. They did not notice that Yang Hongwu had already set up a formation. This formation was very strange. It enveloped the entire stone forest forbidden area. When did he set up this formation? I don't know. Elder Pang, could it be that this guy had already set up a spirit formation beforehand and had already made his preparations? Elder Pang Lin asked. I'm not sure. I just hope that Yang Hongwu has no interest in the demon and will not break the seal. Elder Pang said. That might not be the case. Pang Lin had recovered quite a bit by now. Although his strength was not as strong as Elder Pang's, and he had been severely suppressed just now, he had consumed a lot of energy. However, because of Yang Hongwu's arrival, the pressure on them had been greatly reduced. Coupled with Elder Pang's protection, his cultivation had recovered quite a bit. Previously, Pang Sansheng brought people to kill him. I'm afraid that he has already been killed by that kid. It would be strange if he doesn't have any resentment towards us for what we've done to him. We've targeted him time and time again. If it were anyone else, they would also be angry. Pang Lin smiled bitterly. Already, if he was originally on the Pang clan's side, then because the Pang clan's people were against him, he would become resentful and attack the Pang clan. That would be troublesome. He seems to treat Liren and Li Juan well. I hope that he won't attack us for their sake. Elder Pang said, You dare to be distracted. Just as the two of them were discussing, Manager Yu let out a furious roar and a tyrannical punch landed on Elder Pang's body. Elder Pang was caught off guard and was sent flying. Cough, cough. Elder Pang coughed a few times and blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. He had already consumed a lot of energy. Now that he was hit because he was distracted, his injury was not light. Haha. Old man, let's see how you're going to defend yourself this time. Deacon Yu was overjoyed. Originally, this old man's strength was quite strong. If he hadn't been distracted and exposed a flaw, it wouldn't have been easy to deal with him. He didn't expect that this time it would actually be so easy. Unexpectedly, he was injured. It would be much easier to deal with him now. Kill this old man first, then deal with that kid. Attendant Yu said loudly. In Attendant Yu's eyes, although Yang Hongwu was talented and strong, he was still lacking compared to Elder Pang. Elder Pang was from a shepherding town, while Yang Hongwu was from the outside world. In this space, Elder Pang's threat was much greater than Yang Hongwu's. As long as Elder Pang was killed, the power of the seal would weaken and the suppression of the stone forest would be reduced. Therefore, Attendant Yu's first target was to kill Elder Pang. All of a sudden, other than the 6 people who went to besiege Yang Hongwu, the rest of the people from Burial Cult erupted. They all surrounded Elder Pang, wanting to kill him. Elder Pang, be careful. Pang Lin knew that the situation was bad. If he did not talk so much with Elder Pang, the bastard from the Burial Religion would not have gotten the chance to injure Elder Pang. On the other side, Yang Hongwu activated the formation and the power of the formation burst out. Bolts of lightning struck down from the sky. Great Rushing Thunder Fist. Yang Hongwu displayed the Great Rushing Thunder Fist in the formation. His whole body turned into lightning, and his speed was so fast that people could not see him clearly. Now that Yang Hongwu had set up the formation, the power of lightning was incomparably overbearing. When he displayed the Great Rushing Thunder Fist, he was like a fish in water. Moreover, the power of lightning that Yang Hongwu's Great Rushing Thunder Fist was not an ordinary power of lightning. It was the original power of lightning contained in the Great Tao Lightning Tribulation. The power of lightning. This was a kind of thunderbolt strength, a supreme thunderbolt strength that could destroy everything. It was not something a half-step Divine Emperor could withstand. Even a real warrior in the Divine Emperor realm would not dare to resist the overbearing power of the Thunderbolt. Chapter 1633. Deacon Yu panicked when he saw that Yang Hongwu had actually killed the 6 of them. Yang Hongwu's strength had exceeded his expectations. He was too strong. 3 of them had been killed in 10 breaths of time. Now, 6 of them had also been killed so easily. How could he not be shocked? Of course, the gap between them was too big. Kill. Kill that old bastard from the Pang family first. Deacon Yu shouted. That old bastard from the Pang family was already at the end of his rope. If they couldn't kill him now, how long would they have to wait? Hearing Deacon Yu's words, the disciples of the burial sect rushed towards Elder Pang crazily. "TSK, TSK, are you not putting me in your eyes?" Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. Yang Hongwu had a good impression of Elder Pang. If it wasn't for him, his understanding of the Tao wouldn't have improved. Although Elder Pang might have had something to do with the Pang family's elder chasing after him, Yang Hongwu had no choice but to do it now. Save him. In a flash, Yang Hongwu appeared beside Elder Pang and threw out a punch. This punch instantly forced Deacon Yu back a few steps. Yang Hongwu, thank you. Elder Pang took a deep breath. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu, he would have lost his life. Elder Pang, you don't have to do this. Yang Hongwu said, no matter what, I still have to thank you. Thank you for disregarding the past and helping me. Elder Pang was touched. Although he had helped Yang Hongwu to improve his cultivation, he knew that Yang Hongwu's talent was amazing. Even without his help, Yang Hongwu would have understood it. It was only a matter of time. Previously, he had agreed to let Pang Lin and the others chase after Yang Hongwu. Although they were worried that Yang Hongwu would remove the seal and release that frightening demon, it remained that they had let Yang Hongwu down. However, Yang Hongwu had disregarded past enmity to help him, and even save his life now. This was an act of repaying evil with good, which made him feel extremely grateful. Brat, are you trying to make an enemy out of my burial sect? Manager Yu was infuriated. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu, that old fellow from the Pang family would have already been killed by him. Yet now, that old man from the Pang family had actually been rescued. Manager Yu was very clear that once he killed the Pang family's old man, the seal would be broken by more than half. Success was right in front of him, but it was ruined by Yang Hongwu. At this moment, he hated Yang Hongwu to the bone. He wanted nothing more than to cut Yang Hongwu into 1,000 pieces. However, that attack had allowed him to sense Yang Hongwu's strength. It had far surpassed his expectations. Furthermore, he faintly felt that this space had been sealed. They were in a powerful formation. This formation was filled with frightening lightning energy. It was as if they had encountered a heavenly tribulation or even a heavenly punishment. It was a life and death crisis. That was the most frightening thing. Haha, don't you know the consequences of making an enemy out of my burial sect? Haha, haven't I already made an enemy out of your burial sect? Could it be that I've killed so many of your people, yet I'm still not an enemy? Yang Hongwu laughed heartily. He knew that Manager Yu was afraid. However, Yang Hongwu had to admit that Manager Yu was extremely powerful. He was still hiding his strength. If he were to unleash his true strength, even Elder Pang would not be a match for him. However, Yang Hongwu was curious as to why he was hiding his cultivation. Of course, even if he were to unleash his full strength, Yang Hongwu would not be afraid. If you retreat now, I won't make things difficult for you. Deacon Yu said, otherwise, I'll kill you here today, even if my cultivation base drops. Is that so? Yang Hongwu did not mind at all. He looked at Manager Yu and said, I know that you're still hiding your strength. However, even if you were to unleash your full strength, you're still not a match for me. How do you know? Manager Yu's expression changed. He did not expect Yang Hongwu to be able to tell. He's still hiding his cultivation? Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Elder Pang opened his eyes wide. Manager Yu was extremely powerful. Although he had the upper hand, he was actually borrowing the strength of the Stone Forest Forbidden Land to hold on for so long. If he did not have the strength of the Stone Forest Forbidden Land, he would not have been able to hold on for so long. If he did not have the strength of the Stone Forest Forbidden Land, he would have died long ago. However, he did not expect Manager Yu to be hiding his cultivation. If Manager Yu were to unleash his full strength, he would not be able to withstand it. You don't need to know how I know that. It's not impossible for me to withdraw, Yang Hongwu said. That's not the case. Hearing this, Elder Pang's expression changed. Pang Lin said loudly, Yang Hongwu, you can't do this. Elder Pang opened his mouth, but no words came out. On the other hand, Manager Yu was pleasantly surprised when he heard Yang Hongwu's words. As long as Yang Hongwu was willing to retreat, Everything was negotiable. As long as he had something, he could trade it. If it was any other time, he would definitely not agree to it. However, this time, it was an important matter. His main goal was to break the seal on that person and release him. He could not afford to fail. Anything else, any price, was within his acceptable range. What do you want? Manager Yu looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. Tell me the way to leave this place, Yang Hongwu said. Yang Hongwu was very curious. Previously, Ding Jian and the others were not willing to tell him the way to leave this place, even if they wanted to commit suicide. This Manager Yu, as the manager of Burial Age Sect, obviously had a higher status than Ding Jian and the others. Would he tell him the way to leave this place? The way to leave this place? Manager Yu was shocked. However, there was no expression on his face. He said, if you want to leave this place, the only way is to break the seal on the Black Tower. This time, our goal is actually the same. We can cooperate. As long as we kill them, the seal will be broken. Once the seal is broken, there will naturally be no problem for you to leave this place. Do you think I'm a fool? Yang Hongwu said coldly. If that's the case, do I still need to ask you? This is the only way, Manager Yu said. I'm not lying to you. Since you don't have any other way, I can only kill you. After saying that, Yang Hongwu moved. His entire body seemed to have turned into a bolt of lightning, instantly disappearing from the spot. Seeing this, Manager Yu's expression changed. He shouted angrily, Mystical Demon Vajra Shield. At that moment, a black shield appeared on Manager Yu's body and wrapped him within it. Chapter 1634. Deacon Yu, who was pushed back, was furious. Damn it, it's not that easy to kill me. Everyone attacked together. I don't believe that he can stop so many of us by himself. Kill him. Deacon Yu roared. Yang Hongwu sneered when he saw the people from the burial sect surrounding him. So what if they all attacked together? Yang Hongwu was not worried at all. What Yang Hongwu was least afraid of was a group battle. With his formation and his rushing thunder fist, he would definitely have the upper hand in a group battle. It would be extremely easy to deal with them. Unless they had a way to restrain his attack or break the formation, everything would be in vain, no matter how many of them there were. It would be useless for them to come. Big brother Yang Hongwu is truly powerful. Pang Liren and her sister, who were hiding in the dark, looked at Yang Hongwu with a face full of admiration. Yang Hongwu was not afraid at all when he was surrounded by so many people. Instead, he displayed his invincible might and gained the upper hand. Those disciples of the burial sect were completely defeated by him. How could they not be excited and excited? If it wasn't for the fact that they were hiding in the dark and couldn't speak, they would have already started cheering. Damn it, this damned little bastard. How could he be so powerful? Break the formation. Break the formation first. At this moment, Deacon Yu also discovered that Yang Hongwu was like water in this formation. They had no way to defeat Yang Hongwu. It didn't take long for Yang Hongwu to kill a lot of people. Manager Yu's eyes were red. These were his most loyal subordinates. He had spent a lot of resources to train them. But this time, he didn't expect that Yang Hongwu would be able to kill all of them in such a short period of time. Unexpectedly, so many of them had died in the hands of Yang Hongwu. Could it be that I have to use that thing? At this moment, Deacon Yu was hesitating. It seemed that breaking through this formation was not something that could be done in a short period of time. He possessed a treasure that was capable of breaking through this formation. However, that treasure was given to him by his sect master. He had told him to break the seal so that he could rescue that existence. However, he had no other choice now. If he did not use that treasure, he would simply not be able to break through this formation. If he did not think of a way to break through this formation, they would all die here. However, if they were to use that treasure and fail to break the seal, if they failed to rescue that person, their mission would be a failure. In his heart, he knew very well what this meant. If they failed their mission and returned to the sect, they would definitely not have a good ending. Big brother, use that treasure. A voice shouted. It was Yu Ming, his younger brother, cousin. Yu Ming was also his only relative. Big brother, why are you still hesitating? If we don't use that treasure, we will all die here. If we were to lose our lives, what use is there in keeping that treasure? Seeing that his cousin was still hesitating, Yuming shouted loudly. That's right. If they were to lose their lives, then even if they were to possess a supreme treasure, it would be useless. He would have to use that treasure. At that time, even if he were to return and be punished for not completing his mission, so what? That would be a matter for the future. Thinking of this, Deacon Yu no longer hesitated. He waved his hand, and a scepter appeared in his hand. It was the Shattering Scepter. The Shattering Scepter was a special scepter. It was actually a fragment of the Sect Master's Shattering Scepter's true spirit. The fragment of the Shattering Scepter's true spirit was capable of unleashing the full power of the Shattering Scepter. That attack was originally meant to break through the seal. However, he no longer had a way out. If he were to use the Shattering Scepter's attack to break through the formation, it would be overkill. However, apart from that, he no longer had any other way to break through the formation set up by Yang Hongwu. If he didn't use it, all of them would die. Shattering Scepter. Following that, Deacon Yu roared. The Shattering Scepter emitted a dazzling radiance. That radiance seemed to be able to break through everything. That radiance bombarded the formation set up by Yang Hongwu. With a crisp kacha sound, Yang Hongwu's formation was instantly shattered. The lightning energy that filled the sky disappeared before their eyes. With the formation broken, Yang Hongwu was more or less injured. Although the injury was not great, it still affected Yang Hongwu greatly. It was precisely because of the backlash from the destruction of the formation that it was impossible for Yang Hongwu to kill all of the people from the Burial Era sect. Let's go. After Deacon Yu broke through the formation, he saw that Yang Hongwu was injured. However, he did not attack Yang Hongwu. At that moment, he only wanted to leave. He simply did not have the heart to continue fighting. At this moment, only a few people remained from the people he had brought with him. The others were all dead. If this were to continue, they would all die here. He knew that Yang Hongwu was an array master. Since he was an array master and was able to silently set up an array formation, who knew if he could set up another array formation? If that was the case, they would definitely be annihilated. At that moment, Pang Lin shouted, Yang Hongwu, they're trying to escape. Stop them. We absolutely cannot let them go like this. Haha, you Menglin, you're truly trash. At that moment, a voice was heard. This voice was extremely domineering. Yang Hongwu's face sank. The person who had come was much stronger than Yu Menglin. Didn't they say that the Burial Era sect had only sent a deacon as their leader? That deacon was Yu Menglin. Why was there an even stronger person now? Zong Batian, it's you? Yu Menglin's face sank when he saw the person who had come. Zong Batian was an outer sect elder. His position was higher than his. Furthermore, Yu Menglin's current strength was stronger than his. All this while, Zong Batian had looked down on them. However, Zong Batian did not. Because of this, Zong Batian had always held a grudge against Yu Menglin. This time, he had used the sect leader's scepter of destruction to attack, but was unable to break the formation. If news of this were spread, he was afraid that he would not have a good ending. Chapter 16:35. Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly when he saw Zong Batian grabbing Pang Liren and the other girl. Damn this guy. He's still trying to recruit me at this moment. You caught my friends, and now you want to recruit me? Yang Hongwu said coldly. Are you talking about these two women? Zong Batian looked at Yang Hongwu, then at the two women behind him, and said, If it was anyone else, I could let them go, but not these two. He paused for a second, then continued. Besides, they're just women. As long as you follow me, you can have any woman you want. Not to mention two women who aren't even great emperors. You can even have divine emperors. Brother Yang, don't worry about us. Kill him, kill this bastard. Pang Li Juan shouted. Kill me? Zong Batian laughed heartily. Kid, you're pretty strong, and even Yu Menglin isn't your match. But if you want to compare yourself to me, you're still a little lacking. Is that so? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes, and with a flicker, he appeared behind Zong Batian. With a powerful punch, he sent the people behind Zong Batian, who were holding on to Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan, flying away. In the next moment, Yang Hongwu returned to his original spot, and this time, there were two more people beside him. They were Pang Li Juan and Pang Liren. Damn it! Zong Batian's face darkened. He stared at Yang Hongwu, his killing intent exploding. You're courting death. Do you know that? You can try. Yang Hongwu replied coldly. This guy's strength was indeed much stronger than Yu Menglin's. He probably also had a powerful trump card in his hand. If they were to fight, it would not be easy to deal with him. If he did not set up a formation, it would not be easy for him to deal with him. I gave you a chance to pledge allegiance to me. That's your greatest glory. However, you chose to go against me. You're courting death. Since that's the case, I'll grant you your wish. As he spoke, Song Batian moved. His body transformed into a giant beast. His body was as huge as a mountain, because every step he took was earth-shattering. An old dog? Yang Hongwu laughed when he saw the old man's transformation. Isn't it just a big dog, a Tibetan Mastiff? TSK. No wonder his surname was Zong, and his name was Zong Batian. His true form was actually a Tibetan Mastiff. However, his strength was much stronger than the Tibetan Mastiff. Little bastard, you deserve to die. I'm going to tear you to pieces. Song Batian roared. What he hated the most was being called a dog. Ever since he achieved the Tao, those who dared to call him a dog were all torn to pieces and eaten by him. What arrogance! I'm so scared. Yang Hongwu laughed and took out a beast bone and threw it out. Come. I'll reward you with a bone to eat. The moment Yang Hongwu threw the bone out, Song Batian's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but want to bite it. However, he managed to hold himself back for a moment. Ah, little bastard, how dare you humiliate me? Despicable. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to tear you into pieces. I'm going to make sure you die without a burial place. Song Batian roared. Haha, you're just a dog. Yang Hongwu laughed. A dog can't change its habit of eating shit. Hearing this and Song Batian's previous actions, everyone couldn't help but laugh. Even Yu Menglin and the others laughed. As for Song Batian's subordinates, they couldn't help but hold back their laughter. This was their boss. If he dared to laugh out loud, they would probably all be killed. They knew Song Batian's character very well. He was extremely cruel. None of his enemies had a good ending. Even his enemies were the same. Yu Menglin was the only one who had a grudge against Song Batian. Yu Menglin was the only one who was still alive and well. Yu Menglin was highly regarded by the sect leader as well. Hence, Song Batian didn't dare to attack Yu Menglin directly. However, everyone knew that Yu Menglin had made a huge mistake this time. How could Song Batian let go of such an opportunity? At this moment, Song Batian didn't make a move. He wanted to wait until they returned to the sect and kill him with a single blow. Facing Yang Hongwu's humiliation, Song Batian was enraged to the extreme. With an earth-shattering roar, he rushed towards Yang Hongwu in a frenzy. The earth seemed to be on the verge of shattering. The loud roar was deafening. The ferocious aura sent chills down everyone's spine. Big Brother Yang, be careful. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan looked at Yang Hongwu worriedly. Song Batian was actually so ferocious. Don't worry. Yang Hongwu smiled and said to the two girls, It's just a beast. Don't take it to heart. Watch how I beat the dog. Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand and an item appeared in his hand. It was a ring. Yang Hongwu hadn't used this item for a long time. It was the beast taming ring. This beast taming ring was a good treasure. However, it was still lacking when used against a beast like Song Batian. Fortunately, Yang Hongwu had specially refined it and fused a talisman into it. That talisman was the beast taming talisman. Yang Hongwu had dripped a drop of dragon blood into the beast taming talisman. It was pure dragon blood. The beast taming talisman with dragon blood was fused into the beast taming ring. Although it couldn't completely suppress Song Batian, it could definitely suppress him for a while. For an expert, not to mention suppressing him for a while, even a breath's time could decide his life or death. Go! Yang Hongwu threw the beast taming ring out and formed a series of seals with both hands. The beast taming ring instantly enlarged and emitted a dazzling light. Seeing the beast taming ring flying towards him, Song Batian wanted to dodge. However, he was shocked to find that he couldn't resist or dodge. This item seemed to have a natural suppressive effect on him. He had a bad premonition and wanted to give up his attack. However, it was already too late. At that moment, the beast-taming hoop shone brightly and landed on Songbation's head, binding him tightly. Roar! Chapter 16:36. Damn it! Damn it! Open! At this moment, Song Batian had lost his mind. Trapped by the beast-taming hoop and humiliated, Song Batian was like a trapped beast, struggling madly. What a pity, you're just a mad dog. Yang Hongwu was still provoking Song Batian. This made Song Batian even crazier. Everyone at the scene was stunned. A peerless expert was humiliated in such a way by Yang Hongwu, and he was out of breath. He had already lost his rationality, becoming so crazy that it was hard to believe. Since Song Batian was so easily angered, how could he be Yang Hongwu's opponent after being enraged? This was obviously impossible. Yang Hongwu didn't attack, allowing Song Batian to struggle madly. At this moment, Song Batian was at his peak. It could be said that Song Baishan's fighting strength was at its most terrifying. He attacked as if he didn't care about his life. Yang Hongwu naturally wouldn't attack him at this moment. Once his strength was exhausted, so would the beast-taming hoop. It would be easy for Yang Hongwu to take him down. As for Song Baishan's subordinates, it was a good time to take care of them. Yang Hongwu's figure flashed. Yang Hongwu shot out rays of light from his hands. These rays of light intertwined in the sky, creating a beautiful scene. Every time Yang Hongwu made a move, he would kill a person. At this moment, the people of Burial Sect finally understood how terrifying Yang Hongwu was, especially Song Baishan's subordinates. They finally understood why Song Baishan's sworn enemy, Yu Menglin, was beaten up so badly. Yang Hongwu was too strong. Without Song Baishan's help, they were no match for him. They could only be slaughtered. Be careful, he's setting up a formation. Yu Menglin shouted. Seeing Yang Hongwu's actions, he knew that Yang Hongwu was setting up a formation. He was setting up a formation. Previously, he had been at a disadvantage because of this. Once the formation was set up, would they be able to survive? The answer was obvious. Therefore, Yu Menglin had to remind him. If it was any other time, he would be more than happy to see Song Baishan's subordinates dead. But now, if Song Batian died, his subordinates would be finished, and he would be finished as well. Although he and Song Batian didn't get along well, their opponent was too strong and terrifying. Their only chance of survival was to kill Yang Hongwu. Only by killing him would there be a chance of survival and a hope of completing the mission. Therefore, Yu Menglin let bygones be bygones. Are you courting death? Yang Hongwu stared at Yu Menglin. He had spared his life because of Song Batian, but now he was asking for it. Song Batian, wake up! Yu Menglin shouted softly. His voice was like a clap of thunder that woke Song Batian from his frenzied state. Song Batian was still in a state of madness, but Yu Menglin's roar woke him up. Although Song Batian was furious, he felt extremely humiliated. He looked at Yu Menglin with eyes filled with murderous intent. This was his greatest humiliation. If news of this were spread, he would lose all face in the Burial Sect. However, he wasn't a fool. He knew that his life was in the hands of others. If they wanted to survive, the only way was to work together. As for his grudge with Yu Menglin, he would deal with it later. He now understood why Yu Menglin was beaten so miserably. It wasn't because Yu Menglin was weak, but because his opponent was too strong. He was only one person. He had already beaten them all to a pulp. They couldn't resist at all. Song Batian, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and use the trump card that the sect leader gave you. Yu Menglin saw that Song Batian was still in a daze and shouted. Song Batian knew that this was the critical moment. Hurry up. If he succeeds in setting up the formation, we'll all die here. Yu Menglin shouted. Shut up. Song Batian shouted. This is none of your business. You have no right to order me around. Although he said that, Song Batian didn't hesitate and took out an item. It was a talisman that shone with a terrifying power. Song Batian instantly crushed the talisman. The talisman transformed into a terrifying giant the moment it appeared. This giant had 3 eyes. That third eye was like a scorching sun. The light that burst out seemed to be able to incinerate everything. 3-eyed demon. It's the 3-eyed demon. Elder Pang cried out in shock when he saw the figure. His tone was filled with fear. Three-eyed demon clan? Yang Han-Wu had never seen a three-eyed demon clan before. However, this guy's aura was terrifying. He was definitely stronger than an emperor or an emperor. He might even be stronger than an emperor. However, this was only a true spirit, so Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid. If it was his true body, Yang Hongwu wouldn't even need to think about it. He wouldn't resist at all, and would immediately flee without the slightest hesitation. However, even if this real spirit was an expert who had surpassed the Imperial Emperor realm, the strength of this real spirit was still very limited. Furthermore, he was currently inside a special seal, thus his strength was greatly restricted. Moreover, Yang Hongwu wasn't worried since he had already set up the formation. How could Yang Hongwu's method of setting up an array possibly be that simple? If it was in the past, Yang Hongwu would need a lot of time to set up the formation. However, Yang Hongwu could set it up in a flash now. When he attacked the disciples of the Burial World sect, he had shot out rays of starlight. This was just a diversion. Yang Hongwu was very clear that Deacon Yu had a trump card that could save his life. As for Zhang Batian, who was stronger than Deacon Yu, it seemed like he couldn't do much and was easily defeated by Yang Hongwu. However, Yang Hongwu was very clear that Zhang Batian's strength and potential were both on par with Yu Meng. Lin was stronger. In addition, there was a special aura on Zhang Batian's body. This special aura was extremely domineering and powerful. Therefore, Yang Hongwu concluded that this guy must have a great trump card. Chapter 1637. Sect Master. Sect Master. The moment the three-eyed demon god's clone appeared, all the disciples of Burial sect saluted. The three-eyed demon god's clone nodded and looked at Zhang Batian and Yulin. Sect Master, please take down that kid, Zhang Batian said. The moment that Sect Master heard, he looked at Yang Hongwu and his brows furrowed slightly. This brat is merely a 5th-level divine lord cultivation. You all actually want to mobilize my power? The Sect Master was very dissatisfied with this. Zhang Batian and Yu Menglin looked embarrassed. Sect Master, that kid is very strong. Although he looks like a 5th-level divine monarch, his fighting strength is comparable to a mid-level divine emperor, Zhang Batian said. Yes, Sect Master. If we can deal with him, we don't need to trouble you. Please forgive us, Yu Menglin said. Yang Hongwu looked at the Sect Master of Burial Sect. He didn't expect this guy to be an expert of the Three-Eyed Demon God clan. The Three-Eyed Demon God clan's eye technique was definitely top-notch. It was said that the Dharma Eye of Annihilation was created by a peerless expert of the Three-Eyed Demon God clan. However, no one knew whether this was true or not. One thing was certain, if this guy was refined, it would be of great help to his Dharma Eye of Annihilation. Therefore, to Yang Hongwu, Zhang Batian, and the others were like a pillow sent to him when he was sleepy. It was very difficult to improve the Dharma Eye of Annihilation. Even if it was used to destroy the world, it would be very difficult to improve it. However, if there was a powerful Divine Eye clan, it would be of great help to the Dharma Eye of Annihilation by devouring and refining their Divine Eye origin. Yang Hongwu was very clear about this point. Little guy, who are you? Are you the Sect Master of Burial Sect? You really look like a dog. Yang Hongwu looked at him and said, If your true body came here, I would indeed not be a match for you. However, you are only a true spirit incarnation, so you are not a match for me. If you leave now, this incarnation of yours will not be able to defeat you. If you leave now, I can still protect you. As the sect leader of the Burial Era sect, the entire Burial Era sect was named after him. His name was Burial Era, and his strength was exceedingly high. If it wasn't for the fact that his true body was unable to descend to this place, he would have really come here directly. As the sect leader, his status was extremely high. No one had ever dared to talk to him like this. Yang Hongwu was definitely the first. No one has ever dared to talk to me like that. Little guy, although your tone is arrogant, I admire you. If you are willing to submit to me, I can accept you as my disciple and make you the young master of my Burial World sect. Burial World looked at Yang Hongwu and said. Hearing those words, Zhang Batian, Yu Menglin, and the others all felt extremely envious. The sect master took in a disciple and directly became the young sect master. What a great honor this was! That was something that countless people yearned for even in their dreams. That was something that countless people in the 10,000 realms wanted. The burial sect was extremely powerful. If one could become the burial sect's young sect master, one could very well imagine how high one's status would be. Everything else was secondary. The most important and enviable thing was to obtain the guidance of the burial sect's young sect master and become his disciple. That was something that all cultivators yearned for even in their dreams. The reason for that was because the burial sect's sect master's strength had reached an incomparably frightening level. It was a level that no one could imagine. In fact, there were rumors that the current burial sect's sect master was only a clone. Furthermore, he only possessed 1% of his original body strength. 1% of his original body strength was already so frightening. In the 10,000 realms, there was practically no one who could match him. If his original body were to appear, how frightening would his strength be? By becoming his disciple, one would naturally be able to obtain his inheritance and his cultivation method. Not to mention obtaining all of his inheritance. Even a portion of it would be extremely frightening. Therefore, at this moment, Zong Batian and the other disciples of the burial sect were incomparably envious and jealous after hearing those words. They wished that they could replace Yang Hongwu. However, they knew that it was simply wishful thinking. However, they also knew that the reason why the burial sect's sect master valued Yang Hongwu was because his aptitude was too outstanding, too astonishing. A mere fifth-layer divine monarch was comparable to a mid-divine emperor. How terrifying was his potential? Moreover, as the burial sect's sect master, how could his insight be compared to ordinary people? The things that he could see were definitely much more than ordinary people. He wanted to accept Yang Hongwu as his disciple. This was enough to prove that Yang Hongwu was far from being simple. If it was only what they saw, there would be many geniuses like him in the 10,000 realms and even in the burial sect. However, the burial sect's sect master did not take a fancy to any of them. Ming, Yang Hongwu should not be as simple as what they saw. However, Yang Hongwu's reply next stunned them. Not only the disciples of the burial sect, but even Zong Batian himself was stunned. A mere young sect master, TSK, I don't care. It's more appropriate for me to directly become the sect master, said Yang Hongwu with a gentle smile. You want to directly become the sect master. Your ambition is not small. Do you know how terrifying the strength of the burial sect is? Zong Batian was stunned at first. He did not expect that Yang Hongwu would say such a thing. Until now, everyone who met him had always been careful, afraid that he would get angry. However, not only was Yang Hongwu not afraid, but he was also so impudent in front of him. He did not care about him at all. This aroused Zong Batian's interest in Yang Hongwu. The reason why he had attacked this place was so that he could release an expert from the seal. That expert was also a member of his three-eyed demon god clan. He was a great general under his command. His strength was incomparably valiant. Although he was slightly weaker than Zong Batian, he was not much weaker. If he could rescue the great general, Zong Batian, and also taken such a disciple, it would be a great thing. When Zong Batian and the other disciples of the burial sect heard Yang Hongwu's words, they thought that he would enrage their sect master and be directly killed by him. However, to their surprise, Yang Hongwu's words did not enrage their sect master. They were truly astonished. Chapter 1638. As long as your cultivation reaches the level of emperor, what harm is there in giving you the position of church master? Said the church master indifferently. Once those words were spoken, the crowd became even more shocked. This was especially true for the people from the burial church. Although emperor-level experts were at least at the level of supreme elders in the burial church, there were definitely many emperor-level experts in the burial church. Hearing that, Yang Hongwu sneered and said, "If my cultivation reaches the level of emperor, would I still care about a mere burial church? Once I reach the level of emperor, I will be able to destroy a mere burial church with a flick of my finger." The burial church's churchmaster looked at Yang Hongwu, and a terrifying killing intent erupted from his eyes. "I can see that your aptitude is extraordinary and that you are qualified to inherit my legacy. However, you just don't know how to appreciate my kindness. Those who know me know that I am not so easy to talk to. I will say that all the geniuses that I have seen are not my own people. That means they are my enemies. I have never shown mercy to my enemies. You better think this through carefully. If you do not pledge allegiance to me, you will die here today. I'm afraid that you might not have the ability to do so, said Yang Hongwu with a cold smile. Who doesn't know how to boast? If you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. After saying that, the burial church moved. Although the burial church was only a true spirit incarnation, his strength was extremely terrifying. With a raise of his hand, heaven and earth trembled. A vast and boundless pressure erupted, causing everyone to be unable to breathe. Even the strongest person present, Elder Pang, was unable to do so. Under the terrifying pressure, he was unable to straighten his back. Some of the weaker existences were directly crushed by the terrifying aura and died miserably. Frightening. This terrifying strength was truly too frightening. This was simply not a strength that should exist in the mortal world. It's over. This time, it's really over. I never expected that the burial church's churchmaster would actually come himself. Despair flickered in the eyes of Elder Pang and the others. The burial church's churchmaster was simply too powerful. Merely by relying on his aura, he was able to crush the weak people of Shepherding Town to death. Even some of the burial cult's disciples weren't spared. Song Batian, Yu Menglin, and the others paled. However, Yang Hongwu, the main target of the burial era sect's sectmaster, appeared to be completely unaffected. Seeing this scene, everyone present was astonished. Even Zongshi himself felt the same way. Everyone was well aware of how terrifying his aura was. However, Yang Hongwu was only a half-step divine emperor, but he was not affected at all. This was too strange, too surprising. Is that all you've got? You want to kill me? What a joke. Yang Hongwu snorted. With a wave of his hand, a ray of light erupted from his hand. Reverse the universe. As Yang Hongwu's voice fell, heaven and earth seemed to have undergone a huge change. The space-time of this entire space seemed to have started to spin, and an even more overbearing force erupted. This power seemed to want to beat the world back into chaos. Sensing this power, Zongshi's expression changed drastically. Formation? You actually set up a formation. How is this possible? With your 5th-level divine monarch realm cultivation, how can you set up such a terrifying formation? This is fake. It must be fake. Zongshi discovered this unforeseen event and shouted loudly. At this very moment, he had already lost his composure. Feng screamed like a child who had been bullied. I forgot to tell you. Actually, I'm most powerful in the Tao of formations. This formation is my most powerful formation. You are the first person to try this formation, Yang Hongwu said. After saying that, Yang Hongwu unleashed the formation to the extreme. This reverse-the-universe formation was extremely powerful, and Yang Hongwu had paid a huge price for it. When the formation was unleashed, it mobilized the power of Yang Hongwu's inner world. The divine source stones and various spiritual veins that he had stored up were also being sucked out crazily. The energy in his inner world was decreasing crazily. Although Yang Hongwu did not have any expression on his face, looking like everything was under his control, Yang Hongwu did not feel good in his heart. His heart was bleeding. This was consuming his reserves. What he hoped for now was that Zongshi's real spirit incarnation could let his strength rise to another level. Otherwise, it would be a huge loss. Not good. When Yang Hongwu was dealing with Zongshi's real spirit incarnation crazily, Elder Pang felt that something was amiss and shouted, Yang Hongwu, stop quickly. Otherwise, the power of the seal will be devoured. Yang Hongwu frowned when he heard that. Only then did he realize that something was amiss. This formation needed to consume a huge amount of energy. Now, even the power of the seal was starting to be devoured. If this continued, it would be troublesome. However, he could not stop at this point. Therefore, Yang Hongwu had no choice but to end the battle quickly. Yang Hongwu mobilized the power of the formation. The reverse-the-universe formation's pressure crushed toward Zongshi. This domineering power instantly crushed Zongshi's real spirit incarnation to the extreme, leaving him with no way to retaliate. Damn it! Damn brat! How dare you attack my real spirit incarnation? You're courting death. Do you know that? Zongshi shouted. To Zongshi, this real spirit incarnation was nothing. Even if it was destroyed, it would still affect his original body a little. However, the impact would not be great. However, this was a matter of face. At his level, he cared about face the most. In terms of fighting strength, Yang Hongwu was like an ant compared to him. He could kill him easily. Letting an ant destroy his real spirit incarnation was absolutely intolerable. Haha, threatening me? It's useless. I know that your original body is very strong, and I'm no match for it. However, your original body should not be able to descend. If it was possible, would you still be so long-winded with me? Yang Hongwu laughed. Yang Hongwu was very clear about Zongshi's threat. Back then, hadn't Wang Li and Wang Yuan also threatened him in the same way? Didn't he also destroy their real spirit incarnations? Zongshi still wanted to say something, but Yang Hongwu would not give him a chance to continue. Yang Hongwu also knew that Zongshi was no fool. He knew that Zongshi would not let his real spirit incarnation go. He was just using this opportunity to stall for time. As long as his subordinate Zongshi Yin broke the seal of the formation, Yang Hongwu would no longer be a concern. However, Yang Hongwu was no fool. He would not give him a chance. Chapter 1639. To everyone's surprise, Yang Hongwu completely refined Zongshi's incarnation and turned it into pure energy, which was then absorbed by Yang Hongwu. After this energy was refined by his Dharma Eye of Annihilation, Yang Hongwu felt that his Dharma Eye of Annihilation had improved a lot. Although it had not yet reached the level of advancement, it was already greatly improved compared to before. Its power had almost doubled compared to before. We're finished. This time, we're really finished. Yu Menglin and Zong Baishan's eyes were filled with despair. Even the hierarch was no match for him. How could the others deal with him? After Yang Hongwu refined the strand of Zongshi's true spirit, he immediately put away the array and strengthened the seal. Just as Yang Hongwu was about to reinforce the array formation, he felt an incomparably domineering force attacking the seal. This incomparably domineering power was the power of the terrifying giant beast that Yang Hongwu had encountered before. This force and Zongshi's power came from the same source. Zongshi Yin, it seems that you know who I am. Boy, let me out, or you'll die miserably. Zongshi Yin's body was a shadow of a terrifying giant beast. Zongshi Yin was also a member of the Three-Eyed Demon God clan. However, the Three-Eyed Demon God clan's body was not the same. Therefore, Zongshi Yin's body was different from Zongshi Yin's. This was the difference between the two. However, Zongshi Yin could also transform into a human form. After all, when one's strength reached their level, their body would no longer be restricted. As long as they wanted to, they could even transform into any form. Is that so? Yang Hongwu smiled gently. Do you know who just came? Great General. At this time, Zong Batian and Yu Menglin saw Zongshi Yan's figure and shouted, Great General, he just killed one of the hierarch's incarnations. What? Zong Yin was furious. Even though he didn't know Zong Batian and Yu Menglin, he was familiar with their chi. They had the chi of the Three-Eyed Demonic God clan. Even though they weren't from the clan, they were servants. How could Zong Yin not know the cult master they were talking about? The Three-Eyed Demon God clan only had one faction, and that was the Burial World sect. It was the faction founded by his elder brother, Burial World. Therefore, if the Sect Lord incarnation was killed, it meant that Yang Hongwu had killed one of his big brother's incarnations. Moreover, although he had been frantically attacking the seal, he had actually sensed a familiar aura. At first, he did not dare to be certain, but now that he heard this, he was certain. This time, his big brother, Zongshi, had sent a clone to break the seal. Release the seal and save him. Brat, you actually killed one of my big brother's incarnations. You deserve to die, do you know that? When Zhang Yin heard that one of his elder brother's true spirit clones had been slain by Yang Hongwu, he was instantly enraged. His attacks against the seal became even more frenzied. His gigantic figure was incomparably malevolent. If it wasn't for the seal, he would have torn Yang Hongwu to pieces. So what if I killed it? Yang Hongwu said coldly. Come out if you have the guts. This guy was indeed powerful. He was not much weaker than Zhang Shi. If he really broke the seal, Zhang Yin would definitely not be his opponent. At least, not for now. However, Yang Hongwu could deal with him bit by bit. Just like before, a wisp of Yang Hongwu's soul consciousness had broken out of the seal, but Yang Hongwu had taken care of it. Therefore, Yang Hongwu wanted to deal with him in the same way. That was why he did not stop Zhang Batian and the others from revealing that he had killed one of Zhang Shi's incarnations. It was to anger Zhang Yin. If Zhang Shi could divide his soul power again and again to deal with Zhang Yin, that would be the best. However, the key problem was that Yang Hongwu did not have much time now. He did not want to continue wasting time here. This was not good for Yang Hongwu. He still needed to leave this place and find Hu Xiao and the other girls. To Yang Hongwu, Hu Xiao, and the others were the most important. Everything else had to be thrown aside. Boy, are you trying to anger me? Zhang Yin suddenly calmed down. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Your strength has increased again. It seems that you have improved your cultivation by devouring and refining the power of our three-eyed demon god clan. You have devoured a wisp of my soul and also a real spirit avatar of my elder brother. Although your current cultivation realm has not changed, your strength has increased. I can sense the aura of my clan from your body. You want to provoke me so that I will separate my soul to deal with you. And then Zhang Yin looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Then you took the opportunity to suppress my incarnation and devour my power. You are too naive. I will not fall for it. As soon as Zhang Yan's words came out, Zhang Batian and the others were dumbfounded. Although this seal has sealed me here, boy, don't be complacent. The power of this seal is limited, but my power is infinite. The aura of that bastard has disappeared. I can no longer feel his existence. If he still controlled this space, I would not be able to break the seal. But now his aura has disappeared. Without the support of his power, I will break this seal sooner or later. 10 years at most. 10 years later, you will die. Zhang Yan's figure flashed and disappeared. Standing in place, the seal that was constantly being attacked also calmed down. Yang Hongwu did not expect this change. He did not expect Zhang Yan to be so smart. However, this was also good. At least, Shepherding Town would not be in danger for the next 10 years. However, Yang Hongwu felt that it was a pity that he could not devour Zhang Yan's power to improve his power and his Dharma Eye of Annihilation. Since he knew that Zhang Yin and Zhang Yin were three-eyed demon gods, and that devouring and refining their power could be used to improve his Dharma Eye of Annihilation, Yang Hongwu had been looking forward to it. For a long time, Yang Hongwu had thought that in order to enhance the power of his Dharma Eye of Annihilation, he would have to rely on the world source energy of the world to enhance his Dharma Eye of Annihilation. However, he did not expect that he could also rely on the world source energy of someone who possessed the Divine Eye technique to enhance his Dharma Eye. Chapter 1640. Are you disappointed? Yang Hongwu looked at Song Batian and Yulin. Yang Hongwu knew that the two of them were hoping that Zhang Yin would break the seal and suppress him, or even kill him. However, the current situation was beyond their expectations. You, kill us if you want, Yu Menglin said. Kill us, and our leader will avenge us. That's right, kill us if you want. If I even frown, I'm not a man, Song Batian said. Yang Hongwu laughed when he heard that. He looked at the two of them and said, Are the two of you really not afraid of death? Sigh, I wanted to let you go and give you a way out, but I didn't expect you to seek your own deaths. I'll fulfill your wishes then. Wait. Song Batian and Yu Menglin hurriedly shouted at Yang Hongwu. Who would want to die? Since there was a chance, no one would want to die. They were no exception. Even if they had to drag out an ignoble existence, it was better than dying. After all, there was nothing left if they died. All their hard work would be for naught. Who would be willing to do that? They had cultivated for countless years. It was too depressing to die just like that. They thought that they would definitely die, but Yang Hongwu's words gave them a chance to live. How could they not be excited? What do we have to do for you to let us go? Song Batian asked hurriedly. Yu Menglin was also looking forward to it. This was their only chance to live. They didn't want to give it up. But if you want us to help you leave this place, then don't say it. We can't do it. Yu Menglin suddenly thought of something. She looked at Yang Hongwu and said, the only way to leave this place is to break this seal. Only then can we leave this place. I already know the way to leave this place. I don't need to ask you. Yang Hongwu looked at the two of them. You have everything I need. Yang Hongwu sensed the aura of the world's origin in their bodies. What was the origin of a world? Yang Hongwu knew this very well. It meant that the two of them had their own inner worlds. This was what Yang Hongwu wanted the most. The world's origin energy could help him improve his cultivation. A cultivator's inner world, even if it was the lowest level of inner world, was extremely precious. If one wanted to seize the inner world of another cultivator, it would be too difficult. It was impossible to snatch it by force. The only way was to give it up, or to obtain it after the cultivator died. That was the acknowledgement of the inner world. The second possibility was that after the other party's death, his inner world would escape into the endless void. No one knew where it would end up. It was too difficult to find a small world in the boundless void. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack. It was impossible to do. Therefore, the only way was to make the other party give up control of the inner world on their own accord. However, if he were to give up his inner world, his origin would be damaged, and his strength would be greatly reduced. Under normal circumstances, no one would do such a thing because it would mean that it would be extremely difficult for him to advance further in the future. In fact, it might even mean that he would have no hope of advancing further. Therefore, this kind of situation was far too rare. Moreover, even if a cultivator with an inner world was willing to give it up, others might not agree and could not inherit the position of world lord. Therefore, from ancient times until now, very few people had taken the initiative to give up their inner worlds and succeeded in inheriting them. However, to Yang Hongwu, all of this was not a problem. What he wanted was the world's origin, not Zhang Batian and Yu Menglin's inner worlds. Once they gave up their origin worlds, Yang Hongwu would use his Dharma Eye of Annihilation to destroy them and turn them into energy that Yang Hongwu needed to improve his cultivation. What is it? Tell me, Yu Menglin said. As long as you are willing to let us go, we can negotiate anything. That's right. Zhang Batian nodded. No, we can't let them go. Before Yang Hongwu could say anything, Pang Lin shouted from his side. Little brother, these two people are from the burial sect. They are demons who commit all kinds of evil. We can't let them go, Elder Pang said in agreement. To them, if they allowed the two people from the burial church to leave, then the shepherding town would never have a day of peace. Only by killing them would the people from the burial church be a bit more fearful and not dare to act so recklessly. That was because they did not know exactly what was in the shepherding town. If they had a way to figure out the situation in the shepherding town, they would not make a move so easily. However, Elder Pang and Pang Lin's thinking was too simple. How could Yang Hongwu possibly move according to their will? No one could stop him from doing what he wanted to do. Hearing Elder Pang and Pang Lin's words, Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. Yang Hongwu did not like Pang Lin at all. I don't need you to teach me what to do. Yang Hongwu glanced coldly at Pang Lin, his eyes flashing with killing intent. Pang Lin was frightened by Yang Hongwu's glare and involuntarily took a few steps back. You? Pang Lin looked at Yang Hongwu and opened his mouth. In the end, he did not dare to say anything. Yang Hongwu, for my sake, for Liren and Li Juan's sake, can you kill these two people from the burial sect? After all, their existence is an enormous threat to our shepherding town and the Pang family. Elder Pang hesitated for a moment before saying to Yang Hongwu. He knew very well that it was too much to ask of Yang Hongwu like this. After all, although he had done Yang Hongwu some favors, he had also sent people to hunt him down. He had already given them a lot of face by coming here. Now, he was asking Yang Hongwu to change his mind and kill the two people from the burial sect. This was indeed too much. If it were any other expert, They wouldn't be able to tolerate others telling them what to do. I can't. Yang Hongwu said, Elder Pang, it's already very good of me to not kill him for your sake. He has spoken to me with that kind of tone time and time again. If it were anyone else, they would have killed him. Elder Pang was speechless. Although Elder Pang was furious, he did not dare to say anything. He was truly worried that Yang Hongwu would directly kill him. Chapter 1641. To Elder Pang's dismay, Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan didn't say anything either. They had always respected him, but at this moment, they didn't speak up for him. This made him very disappointed, but he couldn't do anything about it. He could tell that Yang Hongwu cared a lot about the two girls. If they were to plead for him, Yang Hongwu might just agree. Yang Hongwu ignored Elder Pang and turned to Yu Menglin and Song Batian. I need your inner worlds. Song Batian and Yu Menglin stared at Yang Hongwu with their eyes wide open. They had thought of everything. They had even thought of Yang Hongwu crippling their cultivation. They thought they heard wrong. You're not joking, right? Yu Menglin looked at Yang Hongwu. Yes, you want our inner worlds. Even if we're willing to give it to you, you can't take it away. Song Batian said, It's meaningless. That's right, young master. Please change your condition, Yu Menglin said. No. Yang Hongwu shook his head. If you want to live, the only way is to hand over your inner worlds. But why are you not willing? Yang Hongwu looked at the two coldly. If you're not willing, then die. Yu Menglin and Song Batian looked at each other and finally nodded. Losing their inner worlds would be a huge blow to them. Their cultivation would be greatly damaged, and they might not even have the chance to advance in the future. However, this was still much better than dying directly. If they were in such a situation, they would definitely not let their opponents go. They would not give their enemies a chance to survive. They would not even give them a chance to reincarnate. They would directly destroy their souls. Good. After the two nodded, Yang Hongwu nodded in satisfaction. He looked at the two and said, Very good. Now, hand over your inner worlds. Although Song Batian and Yu Menglin were unwilling, they had no choice. If they didn't hand over their inner worlds, they would die. They had to hand it over. The two gritted their teeth and began to separate their inner world from their inner worlds. Yang Hongwu's lips curled into a smile as he watched the two's actions. It wasn't easy to separate one's inner worlds. Moreover, the pain was excruciating. It wasn't something an ordinary person could endure. The two quickly separated a part of their inner worlds. However, the excruciating pain made them sweat profusely. At this moment, their expressions were hideous. After a furious roar, their inner worldses and Yu Menglin separated. Their auras were greatly damaged. They were extremely weak. The two of them were already severely injured. Now that they had separated their inner worlds, the damage was huge. Hence, their strength was not even comparable to an ordinary true god realm martial artist. They were only equivalent to a great emperor realm martial artist. Their inner worlds were like two sparkling and translucent pearls, looking extremely beautiful. Here, this is our inner worlds. The two of them spoke with weak tones. Then, they waved their hands, and two beads flew toward the two of them. All right, Yang Hongwu reached out and grabbed their inner worlds in his hands. At this moment, the two inner worlds' light balls underwent a drastic change. They glowed brightly and enveloped Yang Hongwu in the blink of an eye. At this moment, Song Batian and Yu Menglin smirked. In that instant, the two of them seemed to have turned into two bolts of lightning, swiftly surrounding Yang Hongwu. Not good. Elder Pang's expression changed. He shouted, Pang Lin, let's go and help Yang Hongwu. Pang Lin's expression changed. He didn't hesitate to move after hearing Elder Pang's words. However, his lips curled into a cold, killing intent. Yang Hongwu didn't give him any face and even wanted to kill him. This made him furious. In the Pang family in Shepherding Town, he was above everyone else. No one had ever dared to treat him like this. Yang Hongwu dared to humiliate him. Therefore, Yang Hongwu must die. This time, he wanted to kill Yang Hongwu and the two from the Burial World sect. Therefore, although he moved, his speed wasn't fast. Die. Elder Pang, on the other hand, exploded with a powerful force. He was already heavily injured. Even though he recovered a little with Yang Hongwu's help, he still hadn't fully recovered. At this moment, he didn't even have half of his peak strength. He threw out a punch. This punch was like a shooting star, blasting towards Song Batian. When Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan saw that Yang Hongwu was being schemed against, they also moved. They didn't hesitate and activated a secret combination attack. This secret technique was very powerful. In fact, they didn't reveal their secret technique. Elder Pang didn't even know that they knew the secret combination attack. After the two of them used the secret combination attack, their strength continued to increase. Their auras and cultivation had become extremely terrifying. In just a few breaths, they had already reached the half-step divine emperor realm. Even Elder Pang was shocked. The strength of the two women was too terrifying. The strength of the two women was much stronger than Elder Pang's. After Elder Pang threw out a punch, he was affected by the power released by the two women and was sent flying. Pang Lin was the same. Pang Lin, who had been sent flying, was livid. He had not expected Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan to be so terrifying. Their combined attack was too powerful. It was so powerful that it was unimaginable. Bam! With a loud bang, the two women's attacks landed on Yu Menglin and Song Batian. Yu Menglin and Song Batian were severely injured by this attack and were sent flying. However, they didn't seem to have suffered any fatal injuries. They were only severely injured. On the contrary, the two of them were smiling. Brother Yang. Brother Yang. After Song Batian and Yu Menglin were sent flying, the two women's anxious voices could be heard. Haha, don't shout. He's already dead. This brat, if he didn't want our inner world, we wouldn't have been able to plot against him. But he wanted our inner world. He's digging his own grave. Song Batian laughed, blood trickling down the corner of his mouth. Chapter 1642. Song Batian's words infuriated Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren even more. The two of them immediately unleashed their full power, attacking with hatred. The two lights fused together like a terrifying meteor. It was extremely fast, and it instantly bombarded Song Batian's body. In the next moment, Song Batian was destroyed by the terrifying strength. His entire body turned into nothingness and disappeared from the world. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. Pang Lin originally wanted to continue his sneak attack, but he was terrified to the extreme. If he had dared to attack just now, he would have been the one to die. Not far away, Yu Menglin was also extremely terrified. Initially, they thought that Yang Hongwu had been plotted against and killed, so they didn't need to worry about the others. They hadn't thought that these two women could release such terrifying strength. They were far stronger than half-divine emperors or even ordinary divine emperors. Even a divine emperor could not reach such a level. Terrifying, too terrifying. Only now did he know why the sect leader had given them two missions. One was to release the seal and rescue the great general. The other was to capture the two women. It turned out that the bodies of the two women actually contained such a terrifying and powerful strength. Their potential was absolutely limitless. Their potential was terrifying. The two girls had not grown up yet. They were still very young. If they grew up, how strong would they be? It was simply unimaginable how terrifying his cultivation would become. Now it's your turn. You kill Brother Yang. You'll all die. You'll all be buried with him. Pang Liren shouted furiously. Good. Liren, Li Juan, kill them. Old Pang came back to his senses and was extremely happy. Shut up. Pang Li Juan was furious when she heard Old Pang. She glared at him and said, If it wasn't for you, Brother Yang would not have been plotted against. It's all your fault. Do you think I don't know? You even sent people to kill Brother Yang. I know all about it. If it wasn't for you, I would have wanted to kill you. That's right. Pang Liren nodded. Hearing the two women's words, Elder Pang was stunned. He didn't expect the two women to hate him so much. He could see that the killing intent in their eyes was so terrifying. If he dared to continue, the two women would really attack him and kill him. He took a deep breath. Elder Pang's heart was filled with bitterness. He had brought this upon himself. If he hadn't ordered Yang Hongwu to kill him, this wouldn't have happened. All of this was his fault. While Elder Pang was filled with regret, Pang Lin was also filled with regret. At this moment, he was trembling with fear and was already preparing to escape. He was different from Elder Pang. He didn't have any feelings for the two women, nor did he have any face. Just now, he even wanted to sneak an attack on Yang Hongwu. This was something that others could see. Moreover, he had always been targeting Yang Hongwu. Therefore, he was worried that Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan would attack him. Once the two women wanted to kill him, he wouldn't be able to resist at all. The two women's strength was too terrifying. He couldn't understand why Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan, who were only ordinary before, became so terrifying and powerful after Yang Hongwu's accident. Could it be that the two of them had some huge secret? Thinking of this, Pang Lin's eyes were filled with greed. This was an opportunity, a huge opportunity. If he could find out the secret and obtain it, his strength would increase by leaps and bounds. At that time, he would be the master of Shepherding Town. No, he would become the master of the deity plane. He would also subdue the great general of the burial sect in the seal. He would become a master of the myriad worlds. Pang Lin's ambition was huge. However, he had been restricted to Shepherding Town all this time and couldn't leave. Now, the ambition in Pang Lin's heart was infinitely magnified. As long as he was strong enough, as long as he could control the burial sect's great general, Zhang Yin, this great demon, he could leave this place. He would be able to control the entire deity plane and even a stage bigger than the deity plane. Thinking of this, Pang Lin's heart was burning with passion. However, he knew very well that this wasn't the best time. Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren were currently in a fit of anger. Once he angered them, his life would be over. Therefore, at this moment, Pang Lin did not dare to speak to Pang Lijuan and the other woman. The only thing he could do now was to hide, leave this place, and save his own life. In the future, he would find an opportunity to find out the huge secret from Pang Lijuan and the other woman. Just as Pang Lin was about to sneak away, Pang Liren noticed him. The two women were extremely angry and full of hatred. How could they let go of anyone who had harmed Yang Hongwu? In fact, they knew very well that Pang Lin was the reason why Elder Pang had targeted Yang Hongwu. Trying to sneak away? Pang Lin, you're courting death. Pang Liren instantly sent out a finger sword. A ray of sword chi instantly pierced through Pang Lin's chest. This attack left a bloody hole in Pang Lin's body. Pang Lin, who was already injured, could no longer stand stably under this attack. This time, he was already seriously injured. Cough, cough. He kept coughing out blood. He covered the bloody hole in his chest with one hand and looked at Pang Liren. He didn't expect Pang Liren to be so cruel. All this time, the Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren he knew were very kind. They weren't even enthusiastic about cultivation. Even if they were hurt or treated badly, they would be amiable and even repay evil with kindness. However, this time, he didn't expect Pang Liren to be so cruel and directly attack him. This was beyond Pang Lin's expectations. He originally thought that even if Pang Liren wanted to stop him, she would only try to persuade him and wouldn't attack him directly. However, this was beyond his expectations. If anyone who dares to move will die, Pang Liren said coldly. No one is an exception. At this time, there were still some half-dead burial cult disciples left. Of course, there were also many Pang family members. Some of them had just arrived. Chapter 1643. So what if you kill me? That brat is dead, and he can't be resurrected. Speaking of which, I've really profited. I believe that I've made such a huge contribution to the sect master, and I've avenged the sect master. This kind of contribution should be enough for the sect master to resurrect me. Yu Menglin laughed heartily. Pang Liren and Bai Wan were not Yang Hongwu. When facing Yang Hongwu, they knew that if Yang Hongwu wanted to kill someone, he would definitely destroy the person's soul. However, Pang Liren and Bai Wan were unable to do so. Although Pang Liren could kill him, she could not completely destroy his soul. That was why Yu Menglin was so arrogant. I'll kill you. Pang Liren, who was provoked by Yu Menglin, was instantly enraged. She waved her hand, and a ray of light shot towards Yu Menglin. This attack was filled with anger. Yu Menglin's expression changed, and he quickly dodged. Then, He took out a talisman and unleashed a defensive barrier. Only then did he manage to block the attack. However, his face turned pale. "Looks like you're very arrogant." In the next moment, a voice sounded in everyone's ears. A figure instantly appeared beside Yu Manglin and reached out to grab his neck. Impossible. Yu Manglin lost his calm when he saw the person and screamed loudly. Brother Yang. Unlike Yu Manglin, Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan were pleasantly surprised. Yang Hongwu was not dead. He was actually still alive. Yu Manglin was extremely frightened. At this moment, not only was Yang Hongwu not dead, but his cultivation seemed to have increased. His aura became even more terrifying. Brother Yang. The two girls rushed towards Yu Manglin. All right, I'm fine. I was so worried. Pang Liren said. Me too. I'm fine. You have to believe me. How could your brother Yang die so easily? Yang Hongwu laughed. Yang Hongwu, I didn't expect you to be able to survive under such circumstances. I'm really surprised. Yu Manglin, who had regained his senses, knew that he was definitely going to die this time. He no longer had any fear and looked at Yang Hongwu calmly. It was as if Yang Hongwu wasn't holding his neck. Are you disappointed? Yang Hongwu said, In fact, I've already discovered your scheme. You want to use your small worlds to plot against me? You're dreaming. Go ahead. Kill me. Yu Manglin no longer harbored any hope at this moment. Haha. In fact, if you hadn't schemed against me and gave me your inner worlds, I would have let you go. However, you didn't do that and schemed against me. How could I let you die so easily? It's too simple. It's too easy. Hongwu said coldly. You should have another small world on you. Give me your other small world as well. You? How did you know? Yu Manglin's eyes widened as he stared at Yang Hongwu. He actually knew. This was too scary. No one knew that he had two inner worlds. But how did he know about it? Could he see through other people's inner worlds? If that was the case, then it was too scary. Previously, his and Zongbaishan's inner worlds did not injure Yang Hongwu. Could it be that he had really refined and devoured them? If I'm not wrong, the inner world you're left with should be very special, right? It should be your last trump card. If I kill you, you should still have a chance of survival. It's in your inner world. Yang Hongwu said, If you want to use this method to save your life, then I'll tell you. If that's the case, then I can tell you that it's absolutely impossible. None of the people I want to kill can survive. Yu Manglin looked at Yang Hongwu, his eyes filled with shock. But then, his lips curled into a smile. You want to commit suicide? Seeing Yu Manglin's expression, Yang Hongwu snorted. Yu Manglin was actually going to commit suicide by detonating his soul. After exploding his soul, a terrifying aura erupted, as if he wanted to blast Yang Hongwu to death and perish together with him. However, Yang Hongwu waved his hand. An array of light enveloped Yu Manglin's body. With a loud boom, Yu Manglin's body instantly exploded, turning into a bloody mist that filled the sky. You think you can escape by committing suicide? It's not that easy. Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand again, and a huge palace appeared. This palace was the Destruction Palace. The Annihilation Sky Palace enveloped the blood mist. Then, a shadow condensed within the blood mist. This shadow was Yu Manglin's soul, a wisp of her soul. Yu Manglin had detonated most of his soul power, and only a strand of his soul was left. However, he did not expect this strand of soul to be caught by Yang Hongwu before it could enter his inner world and escape into the void. This made him speechless. I've said before that no one can escape from me, unless you're much stronger than me. However, your cultivation is too weak. It's impossible for you to escape from me. How do you know? Yu Manglin's strand of soul was extremely weak, as if it would perish at any moment. It was as if a gust of wind could blow him to death. Let me know before I die. Hand over your inner world, Yi Zichen said. Yang Hongwu said, After you hand it over, I'll give you a quick death. Otherwise, it'll be difficult for you to die. All right. Yu Manglin finally gave in. After he finished speaking, a ball of light appeared. This ball of light came out of the void, and it was a small world. Yang Hongwu looked at this small world in surprise. This small world was very special. This was a spiritual world. In fact, the entire world was not a physical world. It was as if it was a virtual existence. Yang Hongwu's eyes widened. A special world. Very special. Although there were all kinds of strange things in the Great Thousand Universe, and all kinds of worlds could exist, this was the first time Yang Hongwu had seen a small world like this. Moreover, this small world ability was very special. It seemed to be able to turn physical objects into virtual objects. It could turn physical objects into virtual objects. What a strange minor world, Yang Hongwu murmured. This world was simply too shocking for Yang Hongwu. It was simply too shocking. Chapter 1644. I've already given you the item. Give me a quick death. Yu Menglan looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Brother Yang, be careful. Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan were worried when they saw that Yang Hongwu was about to keep the pocket dimension. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Yang Hongwu smiled. He was not worried at all. At this moment, Yu Menglan was only left with a wisp of soul. How could he resist? Under such circumstances, any guard could easily kill him. Therefore, Yu Menglan was not worried at all. So, Yu Menglan would not dare to plot against him again. On this point, Yang Hongwu was still completely confident. It's better be careful, Pang Li Juan said. Yang Hongwu was comforted. The two girls were indeed very concerned about him. This touched Yang Hongwu, but he also felt a little helpless and troubled. What troubled him was that the two girls seemed to have feelings for him. These feelings were not ordinary deep. However, Yang Hongwu knew his own situation. He was not just a girl. Yang Hongwu nodded, indicating that they did not need to worry. Then, he looked at Yu Menglan. In that case, I'll give you a quick death. With that, Yang Hongwu waved his right hand and shot out a ray of light. This ray of light entered Yu Menglan's mind. After erasing Yu Menglan's memory, he was sent into reincarnation. To Yang Hongwu, this was a piece of cake. After all, Yang Hongwu had obtained 2 of his minor worlds, and this minor world had limitless potential. Instead of killing him, he sent him into the cycle of reincarnation, which could be considered as ending this karma. After killing Yu Menglan, Yang Hongwu turned to look at Elder Pang and Pang Lin. Elder Pang, thank you very much. Yang Hongwu was the kind of person who would repay kindness. After all, when he was in danger, Elder Pang did not hesitate to help him. Yang Hongwu was very grateful for this. There's no need for that. Old Pang said, if you die, I'm afraid that it will be difficult for us to survive. After all, Yu Menglan and Song Batian were too strong. No one knew what other terrifying trump cards they had. At that time, he didn't have much battle strength, and so did Pang Lin. As for Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan, he didn't think that they were anything special. Such a powerful force. However, after Yang Hongwu disappeared, the battle prowess that the two women displayed made him aghast. When the two women unleashed their combined attack, the battle prowess they unleashed was simply too terrifying. It was even stronger than when he was at his peak. No matter what, I still have to thank you. After saying that, Yang Hongwu turned to look at Pang Lin. What are you trying to do? Pang Lin was terrified when he saw Yang Hongwu staring at him. He had no way to resist Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan, let alone Yang Hongwu, who was even more powerful. Yang Hongwu was much stronger and scarier than the two women. What am I trying to do? Yang Hongwu sneered. What do you think? What do you think I'm trying to do? Pang Lin had never changed his mind and had always wanted to deal with him. Previously, when he was tricked by Yu Menglan and Song Batian using the pocket dimension, not only did Pang Lin not help him, he even wanted to kill him. How could Yang Hongwu tolerate this? This was absolutely intolerable. He had to endure it. Yang Hongwu. Pang Lin kept retreating, but Yang Hongwu kept moving forward and chasing after him. He moved forward step by step. A powerful aura exploded, and the terrifying pressure made it hard for Pang Lin to breathe. Yang Hongwu, this time, give me face and let him go. How about it? Old Pang sighed and said. Yang Hongwu paused and stopped. He looked at Old Pang and said, Old Pang, are you sure? Are you pleading with me for a person like this? Old Pang nodded in the end. He knew that Pang Lin's character was not good, but he was still an elder of the Pang clan, and the last elder. If he died, the Pang clan would have no other strong cultivators. He alone would not be able to support the Pang clan. The Pang clan would need to nurture another one. The Pang family needed time to nurture a few elders. Originally, he had seen the strength of Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan. They could definitely become elders of the Pang family. If they were here, the Pang family would not have to worry. However, the key was that the two girls seemed to be disappointed in him and the Pang family. As the saying went, girls were extroverted. The two girls would probably follow Yang Hongwu. They would do whatever Yang Hongwu said. Yang Hongwu wanted to leave this place. Once he found a way to leave, he would not stay in Shepherding Town. He did not know how to leave Shepherding Town. After all, this place was cursed. Everyone in the Pang family was definitely cursed. However, it was different for others. Yang Hongwu might have a way. Even if Yang Hongwu did not find a way to leave this place, Yang Hongwu would not stay in the Pang family and become a member of the Pang family. In fact, Old Pang was not sure if Yang Hongwu would release the burial speech great general from the burial era sect if he really could not find a way to leave this place. When a person was forced into a corner at a critical moment, what could they not do? Pang Lin was overjoyed when he heard Old Pang's words. He heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Yang Hongwu's expression. He knew very well that he had escaped a calamity this time. If Yang Hongwu had really disregarded everything and ignored Old Pang, he would have been a corpse by now. It was naturally good that he was able to survive. He did not want to die. His ambition had yet to be realized. All right, since Elder Pang has said so, I'll give you face and spare him this time. However, this is the last time. If he dares to scheme against me again and falls into my hands, no matter who speaks or pleads for mercy, it won't work. Yang Hongwu said coldly. As for Elder Pang, Yang Hongwu had only done him a favor because he had saved him without any hesitation at the critical moment. Although he had not helped him much, he had still acted. In fact, Yang Hongwu could give Old Pang face or ignore him. Thank you. Old Pang did not say much. He knew that he and Yang Hongwu were probably strangers now. The favor he had owed him had already been used up. Chapter 1645. There was a high possibility of that happening. Let's go. Since he had let Pang Lin go, Yang Hongwu did not intend to stay any longer. It was meaningless. Okay. Pang Liren and the other girl nodded. They ignored Elder Pang and followed Yang Hongwu out of the Forbidden Stone Forest. Brother Yang, where are we going now? Pang Liren asked curiously. Don't you want to leave Shepherding Town? We're leaving Shepherding Town this time. Yang Hongwu chuckled. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Pang Li Juan was very excited. She grabbed Yang Hongwu's arm and asked, Brother Yang, you mean you found a way to break the seal and the curse here? Yang Hongwu nodded and said, I've found a way. Then what are we waiting for? I can't wait. I wonder what it's like outside. Pang Liren was also ecstatic. To them, the outside world was very attractive. It was a place they had always yearned for. After all, they had grown up in this small place. They had no way to leave this place and go outside. Yang Hongwu led the two girls in a direction. Brother Yang, why did you bring us here? She saw Yang Hongwu bring her to a very familiar place. It was Shepherding Mountain, which was how Shepherding Town got its name. This is Shepherding Mountain. Is the exit on Shepherding Mountain? Pang Li Juan asked. Shepherding Mountain was like a shepherd herding a flock of goats. That was how Shepherding Mountain got its name. Actually, it's not difficult to leave this place. The secret to leaving this place is on Shepherding Mountain. Yang Hongwu pointed at the tall Shepherding Mountain and said, Here, what secret? The two girls were very curious. They had grown up on Shepherding Mountain. They never knew that there was a special secret in Shepherding Mountain. If there was really a secret place on Shepherding Mountain, how could they not have discovered it? How many goats are there on Shepherding Mountain? Yang Hongwu asked. 12 small mountains correspond to 12 goats, Pang Li said. Count again, Yang Hongwu said. No, when did one go missing? Pang Li Juan's eyes widened in disbelief. There were clearly 12 of them. 12 hills. Why is one missing? Pang Liren exclaimed. Could it be that those damned fellows from the burial cult destroyed a small mountain? Pang Li Juan said. For people who had reached that level of cultivation, destroying a small mountain was a piece of cake. Even for them, destroying a small mountain like this was not a difficult task. That must be it, Pang Li said. Big brother Yang Hongwu, you can't possibly be thinking that leaving this place and breaking the curse has something to do with these mountain goat-like peaks, right? Pang Li Juan looked at Yang Hongwu. She believed that Yang Hongwu would not ask this question for no reason. Shepherding Mountain was a very ordinary mountain. It could be called a small mountain range. The main peak was like a shepherd, while the other 12 small mountains were like 12 goats. From afar, it looked like a shepherd was herding his goats. Yang Hongwu looked at Pang Li Juan and said, "That's right. You're right. In fact, the seal in the forbidden area of the stone forest isn't the reason why Shepherding Town is sealed and cursed. The true reason why Shepherding Town is sealed and imprisoned is actually Shepherding Mountain." "How is that possible?" Pang Liren shook her head in disbelief. "Big brother Yang Hongwu, you're saying that the seal in the forbidden area of the stone forest is only a facade, a bait. The true seal is actually here?" Pang Li Juan asked. "No, the seal in the forbidden area of the stone forest is real. However, that seal sealed the burial words of the burial sect. This seal is the true seal of a terrifying existence." Yang Hongwu sighed. Yang Hongwu's words gave Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan a fright. "Big brother Yang Hongwu, you're not joking, right? The burial words are already so terrifying. You're saying that there's an even more terrifying existence sealed here? Then, if that guy comes out, wouldn't it be incredible?" In Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan's eyes, the burial words were already a terrifying demon. However, if there was an even more terrifying guy, how terrifying would that be? Yang Hongwu laughed and said, "I'm just joking. However, what's sealed here is not an evil demon. It's more appropriate to say that an evil weapon is sealed here." "Evil weapon?" "That's right. However, that evil weapon already has intelligence. Its weapon spirit is incomparably powerful. What's really sealed in Shepherding Town is the weapon spirit of that evil weapon. As for Zhang Yin, I'm afraid that he accidentally discovered the existence of that powerful evil weapon and wanted to refine it and take it away. It's sealed here," Yang Hongwu explained. In fact, Yang Hongwu didn't mention one more thing. That was, the weapon spirit of this evil weapon was actually related to the two women. Originally, Yang Hongwu didn't know this information. The reason why he was able to obtain this information was because Zhang Batian and Yu Minglin had used their inner worlds to scheme against him. As a result, when Yang Hongwu devoured their inner worlds, he entered an extremely mysterious state. He seemed to have fused with the world around him. Therefore, Yang Hongwu knew the true secret of this space, this world. In this space, in this world, what was truly sealed was an incomparably terrifying evil weapon. This evil weapon was incomparably domineering. It was sealed here by an unparalleled Almighty. As for the burial words, he had inadvertently discovered the existence of this evil weapon. He wanted to obtain this evil weapon. However, what he didn't expect was that the Almighty who sealed this evil weapon had already anticipated this and had set up a special seal. When the burial words wanted to obtain this evil weapon, it was a tragedy. That was when tragedy struck. That Almighty's arrangement erupted in an instant, forming an extremely powerful seal that sealed the burial speech here. As for the evil weapon, it had been sealed for countless years and weakened by the Almighty's seal. The weapon spirit of the evil weapon was constantly being worn down, causing the weapon spirit of the supreme evil weapon to become very weak. The terrifying evil power had also dissipated a lot. Chapter 1646. These two people were none other than Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan. They were transformed from a supreme evil weapon spirit. However, the two women no longer had the original evil aura in their bodies. In addition, this was also the reason why the two women could erupt with such powerful and terrifying combat power. After all, it was an extremely powerful weapon spirit. Even if it was only a part of it and was weakened, it was still incomparably powerful. It was still not something that ordinary people could resist. Then how can we leave here? Do we have to break the seal? Pang Liren said, "If we break the seal here, won't that terrifying thing be released?" "Of course not. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, "If that thing is released, then it will be terrible. I don't want to die yet." What a joke. Although that terrifying evil weapon had been sealed for countless years, and its strength had been greatly reduced, even its spirit had been weakened a lot. However, its strength was still incomparably terrifying. At least, his current strength was far from it. Once that thing was released, it would be able to crush him. It was estimated that as long as it diverted a part of its power, it would be enough to crush him into pieces. Such a terrifying thing. How could Yang Hongwu dare to provoke it at this time? "Brother Yang, then how should we leave?" Pang Li Juan asked. "The secret is in this small mountain. Originally, there were 12 small mountains. Now, there are only 11 left. Each mountain represents a passage. This is the way to the outside world." Yang Hongwu said, "Brother Yang, you mean we have to destroy a small mountain in order to leave here? After destroying it, we can leave here?" Pang Liren frowned slightly and said, "But there is a curse in our body. If this curse is not removed, even if we leave here, we will not be able to leave here. Even if we leave here, we will not be able to live for long." This was what they were worried about. The most important thing was the curse in their body. If the power of the curse was not removed, leaving here would be in vain. Of course, it's not that simple. The way to remove the power of the curse is also here. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly and said, "If there is no way to remove the curse, I will not say this. If that's the case, that's great. Then, Big Brother Yang, how can we break this curse? Are we going to directly destroy these 11 hills?" Pang Li Juan asked. "You guys wait here. I'll go find something to remove the curse for you." Yang Hongwu's body was not cursed, unlike the others. Other people would be infected by the power of the curse when they entered this place, but Yang Hongwu was different. His body was special, and there was a powerful and domineering force in his body. This powerful and domineering force would not allow the power of the curse to enter his body and invade him. His territory. As for the previous curses, they were too weak, so the power in Yang Hongwu's body disdained them. However, this curse power was different. It was much stronger than the curse power that Yang Hongwu had encountered before. It was not on the same level at all. Although it could not be compared with the power in Yang Hongwu's body, it was enough to attract the attention of that power. After all, with Yang Hongwu's current cultivation, he could not resist the power of the curse. It would cause a fatal threat to Yang Hongwu. The domineering power in Yang Hongwu's body would only appear when Yang Hongwu was in fatal danger. Yang Hongwu leaped up and arrived on top of a small mountain. After casting a spell, he suddenly punched out, and the small mountain was instantly razed to the ground. After the hill was razed to the ground, something appeared. Inside the hill, there was a sparkling and translucent object. It looked like a little goat and was very adorable. Yang Hongwu reached out and grabbed the thing in his hand. After doing all this, Yang Hongwu returned to the two women. "What is this?" Pang Li Juan looked at the thing in Yang Hongwu's hand, and her eyes widened. Pang Liren was the same. "Big Brother Yang, are you saying that this thing can remove the curse on our body and let us teleport out of here?" Pang Liren asked. "Yes, it's this thing. This thing can dispel the power of the curse in your body and also help us teleport out of here. Unfortunately, this thing can only be used once. In other words, there are still 10 hills here and 10 people can leave here. However, once these 10 hills are broken, the evil weapon suppressed here will also break through the restriction of the formation seal. At that time, I'm afraid the entire divine realm will be destroyed." Yang Hongwu sighed. Now he was sure that this divine realm was, in fact, the divine realm was also the life great seal. It was a part of the inner world. The supreme evil weapon sealed here was probably sealed here by the original owner of the life great seal. Yang Hongwu even guessed that the reason why a treasure like the life grand seal would split apart was most likely because it was trying to seal this thing. It wasn't that it was broken by some expert. After all, with how powerful the common life great seal was, how powerful and tyrannical would the master of the common life great seal be? How could anyone possibly have the ability to shatter the common life great seal? However, all of this was just Yang Hongwu's guess. As for what the truth was, he didn't know. Perhaps when he truly grasped the Life Great Seal and received the recognition of the Life Great Seal, he would be able to know the secret within. However, for Yang Hongwu, all of this was still too far away. He didn't know how long it would take for his cultivation to reach that level. The more time passed, the more Yang Hongwu's cultivation base rose. The more Yang Hongwu realized that his strength was too weak. Sometimes, Yang Hongwu would think that ignorance was bliss. Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu shook his head violently. How could he have such thoughts? How could he lose his fighting spirit and his desire to improve? Yang Hongwu looked at the jade sheep in his hand in shock. Chapter 1647. Nothing. Yang Hongwu came back to his senses and shook his head. All right, we can leave now. Great, we can finally leave this damn place. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan were overjoyed, as happy as birds. Yang Hongwu poured a strand of dermic power into the jade goat. This strand of dermic power stimulated the power of the jade goat. At that moment, the jade goat burst out with dazzling light and formed a teleportation formation. Come, let's go in. Yang Hongwu held the two women's hands and stepped into the teleportation formation. In fact, Yang Hongwu initially wanted to borrow the power of the two women to try to obtain the evil weapon. After all, the two women were part of the weapon spirit of the evil weapon. However, after thinking about it, he finally gave up on that idea. If the evil weapon still had a real spirit, then the loss would outweigh the gain. Although the two women were also part of the evil weapon spirit, Yang Hongwu did not have enough confidence to protect the two women from harm. If anything happened to the two women, then it would be hard to absolve himself from the blame. After entering the teleportation formation, a ray of light flashed. In the next moment, the three of them appeared in an ancient and dilapidated temple. This dilapidated temple was filled with a rotten aura. Where's this place? Pang Liren frowned. Is this the outside of Shepherding Town? It's not good at all. The aura here is very disgusting. Yes. Brother Yang, you're lying. This place is not as good as you said. Pang Lijuan nodded. The outside world is very vast. This is just a place where we were teleported to. After all, I don't know where we are now. There seems to be something wrong here. Yang Hongwu frowned. This dilapidated temple did not seem to be what he expected. It was so simple. This place was filled with a rotten aura. This rotten aura contained a terrifying power of death, as if it could corrode one's soul. Moreover, this corrosion was silent and did not leave any traces. This was the most terrifying part. Therefore, Yang Hongwu was full of fear. This was not a good thing. Big brother Yang, what's wrong? Seeing Yang Hongwu's serious appearance, Pang Liren couldn't help but ask. It's dangerous here. We have to be careful. Yang Hongwu said, stay behind me. Don't leave within 3 feet of me. Other than the disgusting aura, there's nothing wrong with this place, Pang Liren said. Your cultivation is still weak, so it's normal that you didn't notice it. Yang Hongwu said, moreover, this place is very special. Even divine emperors may not be able to sense the danger here. This temple seems to be deserted, but it is full of death chi and resentment. I wonder how many people have died in this dilapidated temple. After Yang Hongwu finished speaking, he waved his hand and released a strong gust of wind. This gust of wind instantly lifted the dust and debris piled up in front of him. When the accumulated dust and debris were removed, countless white bones were revealed. Seeing this, the two women's eyes widened. What's going on? Looking at these skeletons, the two women were very shocked. From the aura emitted from these skeletons, the two women knew that these dead people were definitely not simple. They should have been very powerful when they were alive. However, they didn't know why. However, they died in this dilapidated temple. Big brother Yang, you're saying that this place is full of killing intent and there's a terrifying evil spirit hiding here? Pang Lijuan asked. Yang Hongwu shook his head. I don't know the specific situation. In this dilapidated temple, Yang Hongwu only felt a sense of danger. However, he didn't find any expert hiding in this dilapidated temple. This was what really puzzled Yang Hongwu. If there was someone hiding in this dilapidated temple, it would absolutely not be able to escape his perception. However, there was a dangerous aura here. Moreover, there was also a strand of murderous intent. Although this strand of murderous intent was well concealed, who was Yang Hongwu? He had cultivated the 10 directions. People of the Killing Fist had once comprehended the true essence of the Killing Tao. Naturally, they could sense the killing intent in this dilapidated temple. He was too sensitive to killing intent. Big Brother Yang, you don't know. What should we do? Pang Liren and her sister would never doubt Yang Hongwu's words. It's okay. We just have to be careful. I want to see who's playing tricks here. Yang Hongwu said. The three of them simply walked forward. Yang Hongwu had to admit that this dilapidated temple was not simple. The space inside was very spacious. The courtyards were filled with all kinds of ancient and decaying auras. Yang Hongwu and the two women walked along and saw all kinds of bones. They didn't meet any living creatures. After a while, Yang Hongwu and the two women arrived at the largest palace. In this largest palace, this palace was completely different from the other palaces. It was very clean, without any dust. It could be said to be spotless. Moreover, more importantly, it was full of vitality. In the center of the hall, a statue was enshrined. That statue was unclear, as if it was in a fog. However, it was filled with immense majesty that was difficult to resist. Who is enshrining here? His aura is so scary and powerful. Pang Lijuan said, Why do I feel that this person's aura is somewhat similar to Big Brother Yang's aura? Pang Liren suddenly said at this time, Is that so? I think it's very similar too. Yang Hongwu was stunned when he heard that. It was similar to him. That was strange. After the three of them came closer, Pang Liren said, Look, this statue looks like Big Brother Yang. How strange. Why would this place enshrine Big Brother Yang? Pang Lijuan also said. After Yang Hongwu saw the face of the statue in the center clearly, he was also dumbfounded. This statue looked exactly like him, only the clothes were different. His face was almost carved out of the same mold as him. Big Brother Yang, could it be that this place has something to do with you? Pang Liren said. Yang Hongwu shook his head when he heard that and said, No, I've never been here before. Yang Hongwu was also very puzzled. Chapter 1648. However, no matter what, Yang Hongwu was also very curious now. Of course, after entering this place, Yang Hongwu did not let down his guard. Although this place was very different from the outside world, it did not mean that this place was already safe. In this hall, there was still a terrifying murderous intent. Although this murderous intent was hidden very deeply, Yang Hongwu could still feel it. Dragon God Taitsong. So this person is called Dragon God Taitsong. Upon closer inspection, there was a small line of text under the statue, and the text introduced the statue's identity. Dragon God Taitsong. I wonder if he is related to Brother Yang? Pang Lijuan asked. Could he be Brother Yang's past life? Pang Lijuan said. Or is he some blood relative of Brother Yang? This I don't know. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Yang Hongwu did not know whether it was his past life or not. Perhaps it was an incarnation of his past life. Of course, it could also be a clan member with a similar bloodline to him. However, Yang Hongwu was not concerned about this now. Instead, he was concerned about the person hiding behind the scenes. As long as he caught the person hiding here, he would be able to figure out what was going on. What was going on with this palace, or rather, this ruined temple? Come out. Suddenly, Yang Hongwu looked ahead and said, You're finally here. A person suddenly appeared in front of the three of them. This person's appearance was actually 70% similar to Yang Hongwu. Seeing this person appear, Yang Hongwu was also very surprised. Brother Yang, this person looks very similar to you? Pang Liren looked at the other person in surprise and shouted loudly. Really? Could he be your younger brother? Pang Lijuan also said. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan were very naive. They were very similar to each other. Moreover, in Shepherding Town, as long as they had the same mother, they were basically very similar. The person in front of them was 70% similar to Yang Hongwu, and his aura didn't seem as strong as Yang Hongwu's. He also seemed to be very young. Therefore, the two women thought that this person was Yang Hongwu's biological brother. Yang Hongwu looked at the two women speechlessly and said, "This is not possible. Besides, I'm actually not a person from the gods' domain. I'm from the lower realms. How could I have a younger brother here? Big brother Yang, are you from small thousand world?" Hearing this, Pang Liren was even more surprised. They had heard of the small thousand world. For a martial artist to ascend from the small thousand world was too difficult. Moreover, Yang Hongwu was still so young. The two women's eyes were filled with admiration. "Big brother Yang, you're really amazing. I heard that ascending from a minor thousand world is extremely difficult. In a minor thousand world, only one person can ascend every 10 million years," said Pang Lijuan. "That's nothing," Yang Hongwu said. "In fact, ascending from a minor thousand world is not as difficult as you think. Is there anything fun in the small thousand world?" Pang Liren said with a look of yearning. "I really want to see the world before Big Brother Yang ascended. It must be very good. Well, when I have time, I could take you there." Yang Hongwu nodded. "Really? Big Brother Yang, you can't go back on your word." Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren were very happy. At this time, the person standing in front of Yang Hongwu, seeing that Yang Hongwu and the two women didn't put him in their eyes, was very angry. Aren't you going too far?" the man said with a calm face. Pang Lijuan and Pang Liren, at this time, remembered that there was still someone next to them. Yang Hongwu looked at the person in front of him who was somewhat similar to him and asked, "Who are you?" "Descendant of Taitsong." The man looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "My name is Taitsong Linkong, descendant of dragon god Taitsong." Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and looked at him and said, "Where is this place? Why are you staying here?" "This place is naturally inside the Taitsong temple." Taitsong Linkong said to Yang Hongwu, "I have been guarding here for 10,000 years, waiting for your arrival." "Waiting for me?" Yang Hongwu looked at Taitsong Linkong in front of him. Yang Hongwu didn't think that this guy was doing this to give him any benefits. On the contrary, this guy should be up to no good. "Why are you waiting for me?" "The fact that you can enter here proves that you have the bloodline of our Taitsong clan. Moreover, your bloodline is very pure. I have to admit that your bloodline level is higher than mine." Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu with a trace of envy in his eyes. Although he didn't want to admit it, it was true. This was indeed the truth. He could feel the pressure from Yang Hongwu's bloodline. If it wasn't for the fact that his cultivation level was higher than Yang Hongwu's, even three of him wouldn't be a match for Yang Hongwu if they were at the same level. However, his cultivation level was higher than Yang Hongwu's. Therefore, he was confident that it wouldn't be a problem for him to suppress Yang Hongwu. "So what?" Yang Hongwu said. "What does it have to do with me?" Looking at Yang Hongwu's indifferent expression and tone, Taitsong Linkong suddenly felt somewhat dissatisfied. "Don't you want to obtain the inheritance of Dragon God Taitsong? Do you know who Dragon God Taitsong is?" Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "As the descendant of Dragon God Taitsong, you should be proud of your bloodline. You should feel incomparably honored to be able to obtain the inheritance of Dragon God Taitsong. Fortunately, I don't care about the inheritance of Dragon God Taitsong," Yang Hongwu said indifferently. "I only believe in myself. Therefore, I'm going to leave. I hope that you can tell me how to leave this place." Taitsong Linkong was even more furious when he heard that. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Yang Hongwu and said sternly, "Say that again? You dare to not put the bloodline of Taitsong clan in your eyes? You're deceiving your master and destroying your ancestors. Do you know that? Deceiving my master and destroying my ancestors?" Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh when he heard that. He looked at Taitsong Linkong and said, "What deceiving my master and destroying my ancestors? Are you saying that I'm deceiving my master and destroying my ancestors just because I don't admit that I'm the descendant of Dragon God Taitsong? That's simply ridiculous. You're courting death. Today, I'll teach you a lesson on behalf of my ancestors. I'll let you know the immensity of heaven and earth." The furious Taitsong Linkong's body erupted with a terrifying aura. This aura shrouded towards Yang Hongwu, as if a terrifying beast had locked onto Yang Hongwu. This overbearing aura, Chapter 1649. Yang Hongwu took a step forward and blocked Taitsong Linkong's powerful aura. The two women were relieved after Yang Hongwu blocked the pressure. They looked at Yang Hongwu with gratitude. "Brother Yang, you have to be careful," Pang Liren said. Pang Li Juan and Pang Liren held hands at this time, and their strength began to increase. Gradually, the two women's strength could resist the pressure. However, the two women were very clear that their strength was too weak. If they continued to stay here, they might cause some trouble for Yang Hongwu and distract him. Therefore, the two women consciously retreated and got out of the range of Ling Chen's imposing aura. Yang Hongwu nodded. "Don't worry, it's just a middle-stage divine emperor. I can still deal with it." What a big tone. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu, his eyes filled with powerful killing intent. "I'll take a look at what trump cards you, a mere 5th-level divine lore martial artist, have to dare have such high-sounding sentiments and be so arrogant." Taitsong leaped into the air and punched out with his bare hands. This punch exploded with an astonishing power, as if it was going to pierce through the heavens and earth. This punch was like a small sun. Its vast power was unparalleled. Yang Hongwu looked at it and sneered. He did not retreat and also punched out. Previously in Shepherding Town, his strength was suppressed. After leaving Shepherding Town, Yang Hongwu found that his strength had increased. Moreover, the power of law here seemed to be able to increase his strength. This was something that Yang Hongwu had never encountered before. Bang! The two fists collided together. Suddenly, an astonishing power burst out, and a domineering qi exploded. This powerful qi rushed out, but did not break anything in the hall. Pang Liren and Pang Li Juan felt a huge pressure under the impact of this powerful qi. They were unable to resist at all. The terror of this great hall was shocking. If it was an ordinary palace, it would have collapsed under the impact of such overbearing power. However, this palace was so powerful that it did not suffer any damage in the face of such overbearing power. It could be seen that this palace was not as simple as it seemed. That so-called dragon god Taitsong was most likely an unparalleled and invincible existence. In fact, at that moment, Yang Hongwu, who was fighting against Taitsong Linkong, was also extremely shocked. This palace was not that simple. There was a formless seal in the space. This formless seal was extremely powerful. After the two of them exchanged a punch, they both retreated a few steps. Yang Hongwu was shocked. Taitsong Linkong's strength was indeed not bad. His strength caused Yang Hongwu to frown slightly and feel a trace of pressure. While Yang Hongwu was in such a state, Taitsong Linkong was even more astonished. "Your strength is not bad. You're worthy of being the person with the strongest bloodline power I've ever seen. However, if you think that you can fight against me with this, you're too naive." Taitsong Linkong said. "Whether I'm naive or not, you could try." Yang Hongwu replied coldly. "You still want to be stubborn." Taitsong Linkong grabbed with his hand, and a scepter appeared in the void. On the scepter, there was a Dragon Ball. It contained a strong power and a dazzling light, illuminating the entire space. Dragon Ball, a peak Emperor-level Dragon Ball. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. No, this Dragon Ball doesn't seem to be that simple. It's even beyond the Emperor level. Could it be an Emperor-level Dragon Ball? Looking at the Dragon Ball, Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised. His eyes were filled with light. If he could obtain this Dragon Ball and give it to Lu Li, her strength would increase a lot. Go to hell. Taitsong Linkong waved the scepter in his hand, and a dazzling light burst out. The light condensed and instantly hit Yang Hongwu. Void travel. With a thought, Yang Hongwu disappeared on the spot. Then, a dragon gate and a pagoda appeared in Yang Hongwu's hand. They were the primordial dragon gate and the dragon transformation pagoda. The dragon gate and the dragon transformation pagoda attacked Taitsong Linkong. Bam! Taitsong Linkong was sent flying. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and grabbed the scepter. Looking at the two treasures in Yang Hongwu's hand, his eyes were filled with shock. This is the dragon transformation pagoda and the dragon gate. How is this possible? How could you have such things? Taitsong Linkong looked at the two treasures in Yang Hongwu's hand in disbelief. The Dragon Transformation Pagoda and the Dragon Gate were the most precious treasures of dragons. They had been lost for a long time. But what he didn't expect was that Yang Hongwu actually had these two treasures at the same time. One should know that the Dragon Transformation Pagoda and the Dragon Gate were the most precious treasures of dragons. For people with the bloodline of dragons, they had a huge suppression. The Taitsong clan was in fact the Taitsong dragons. He was a genius among the younger generation of the dragons of Taitsong. The bloodline in his body was naturally the pure bloodline of dragons. When facing the two most precious treasures of dragons, his strength was suppressed. The scepter in his hand was a supreme treasure called the Blue Dragon Scepter. The Dragon Ball in a scepter was the Dragon Ball of an immemorial blue dragon. It was once an Emperor Realm expert of dragons. Because of an accident, he was seriously injured and died, leaving behind this Dragon Ball. It was refined into the Blue Dragon Scepter. This Blue Dragon Scepter was incomparably domineering. It was also one of the three most precious treasures of the Taitsong clan. The reason why this treasure was in his hand was so that he could guard the Taitsong Dragon Palace and wait for the person with the utmost exalted bloodline to appear. And now, the person he was waiting for had finally appeared. However, his opponent's strength had surpassed his imagination. In fact, if Yang Hongwu didn't have those two most precious treasures of dragons, which gave him enormous pressure, he simply wouldn't have to pay any price to take care of Yang Hongwu. However, his opponent actually possessed two such powerful treasures. At that moment, Taitsong Linkong felt extremely bitter. Never would I have imagined that you actually possessed those two most precious treasures. However, I will not admit defeat so easily. Taitsong Linkong's body flashed, and he disappeared. He left. Pang Lijuan asked. Right after Pang Liren said that, Taitsong Linkong appeared beside her. He immediately grabbed Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan. The treasures in your hands are the most precious treasures of dragons. I am no match for you. However, these two women in my hands should be people that you care deeply about. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Hand over those two most precious treasures of dragons. Otherwise, I will kill these two women. Chapter 1650. It seems like these two women are very important to you. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu and smiled. As long as Yang Hongwu cared about these two women, it would be great. This way, you would have a chance to deal with him. If it was this guy, he would be able to deal with these two women. If this guy didn't care about these two women at all, then it would be really troublesome. He looked at Yang Hongwu. His two hands were strangling Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan's necks respectively. The magic power in his hands burst out, and he kept tightening his grip. Do you want to save them? I will say it again. Let them go. Yang Hongwu's murderous aura was condensing. The entire time seemed to be frozen. This murderous aura was so terrifying that it made Taitsong Linkong a little frightened. Such a terrifying, murderous aura. How many people did he have to kill to condense it? He had lived for so many years and had never seen someone with such a terrifying, murderous aura. Even the most terrifying divine emperor in the divine domain didn't have such a terrifying, murderous aura. He probably cultivated a special cultivation technique. This cultivation technique was very overbearing and ferocious. Big Brother Yang, save me. Pang Liren and Pang Lijuan showed a painful expression and couldn't help but cry out. TSK, TSK, two delicate beauties. It would be a pity if they died like this. Taitsong Linkong was relieved to see that Yang Hongwu cared so much about these two women. With these two women in his hands, he didn't need to be afraid of him. If you want to save these two women, then use the two supreme treasures of the dragons in your hands to exchange. One for one. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hongwu and smiled. His eyes were filled with greed. The two supreme treasures of the dragons, each of them was incomparably precious and powerful. They existed. He was a genius of the Taitsong dragons, but compared to Yang Hongwu, he was still lacking. After all, he was already a divine emperor. He couldn't even defeat Yang Hongwu, a fifth-layer divine monarch. This made him feel very ashamed, even though the other party relied on the power of the treasure. However, it was a fact that he could not defeat Yang Hongwu. Of course, this could also reflect how powerful the two dragons' supreme treasures were, and how horrifying the power was. A fifth-level divine Lord Martial Artist could actually borrow these two supreme treasures to crush him. If he could obtain these two treasures, then he could become the ruler of the Taitsong dragons and control the entire Taitsong dragons. Taitsong Linkong was a genius among the dragons of Taitsong, but he knew that the dragons of Taitsong were not so simple. The dragons of Taitsong were incomparably powerful and spread throughout the universe. The realm of the gods was but one of the great worlds in the universe. Moreover, it was one of the great worlds at the bottom. The real Taitsong dragon tribe actually had their own great realm called the Taitsong Dragon Boundary. The Taitsong Dragon Boundary was one of the top great realms among the countless great realms. If he was in Taitsong Dragon Domain, he was actually at the bottom. He could not compare with those true geniuses in Taitsong Dragon Realm at all. However, if he could obtain these two dragon supreme treasures, he could trample all those so-called geniuses in Taitsong Dragon Realm under his feet. You want my Dragon Transformation Pagoda and Dragon Gate? Yang Hongwu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "No, big brother Yang, don't give these two treasures to him." At this time, Pang Liren suddenly cried out, "Shut up." When Taitsong Linkong heard this, he was immediately enraged and slapped Pang Liren's face. "Say it again, and I'll kill you. Kill us sisters if you have the guts. If you kill us, big brother Yang will avenge us." Pang Li Juan also shouted at this time. "That's right. If you have the guts, kill us sisters," Pang Liren also said. Taitsong Linkong could not stand it. If not for the sake of using them to threaten Yang Hongwu, he would really kill these two women. For Taitsong Linkong, women were nothing at all. Compared to these two dragons' supreme treasures, they were not worth mentioning at all. For so many years, Taitsong Linkong had never put his thoughts on women. In fact, he had lived for so long without a single woman. In his heart, strength and cultivation were the most important. Everything else had to stand aside. Or women. What he wanted was to become a supreme expert. He wanted to dominate the heavens and myriad worlds. For him, women were tools, burdens, and troubles. He saw that many geniuses in the clan had women that they liked, and even risked their lives for a woman. In the end, these geniuses did not have a good ending. Therefore, he didn't care about any woman. In his eyes, any woman was nothing more than a skeleton. They couldn't even compare to a cultivation technique. Moreover, Yang Hongwu before him had two supreme treasures and was very powerful. With these two supreme treasures in hand, he could easily defeat him. However, because of these two women, his hands were tied and he was held hostage. If he did not have women in his heart, then he would probably be crushed by Yang Hongwu. Even if he could escape, he would be seriously injured and pay a huge price. However, Yang Hongwu valued these two women so much that he wanted them dead. This was his fatal weakness. Therefore, in Taitsong Linkong's heart, he absolutely could not let women drag him down. Any woman who wanted to get close to him had bad intentions in his heart. In the past, there were many women who liked him and got close to him. There were even some women who went crazy for him. However, he had always been disdainful of them. There was also a woman who once made his heart waver. In order to stabilize his heart, he personally killed that woman. "Don't challenge my patience." Taitsong Linkong sealed the two women, making them unable to speak and unable to move. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "My patience is limited. If you don't give it to me, I will kill them." He had seen many people who were desperate for women. Some people were even willing to give up their lives for so-called love. In Taitsong Linkong's eyes, they were all fools. All right, Yang Hongwu's eyes were filled with coldness. However, he still nodded. With a wave of his hand, he threw the dragon gate in front of Taitsong Linkong and said, "Here, can you let them go now? You only want one?" Yang Hongwu also threw the Dragon Transformation Pagoda in front of him. Do you think it's that simple? These two treasures have already recognized their master. Before you remove the ownership, they are useless in my hands. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hanwu and said, "Don't take me for a fool." Chapter 1651. In Taitsong Linkong's heart, Yang Hanwu relied on the two treasures to suppress him. Now, the two treasures were no longer in his hands. Even if he was the owner of the two treasures, so what? Without the treasures, how could he be his opponent? A mere fifth-level divine monarch realm martial artist. Forget it. It was easy for him to kill him. Die! Taitsong Linkong instantly took the two treasures and threw the two women out. Then, he threw a heavy punch towards Yang Hanwu. Taitsong Linkong used 90% of his strength in this punch. If it was an ordinary divine emperor, his punch would be enough to kill the opponent. Big brother Yang, be careful. The two women were anxious when they were thrown out. However, they could not do anything. The two women were too weak and had no way to help Yang Hanwu. At this moment, the two women were blaming themselves. They only hated that they were too weak. If they were not too weak and dragged Yang Hanwu down, there would not be such an outcome. If Yang Hanwu did not give up the two treasures to save them, how could Yang Hanwu be in trouble? Don't worry. As soon as Yang Hanwu's voice fell, his figure disappeared on the spot. In an instant, he appeared beside the two women, protecting them behind him. How is this possible? Taitsong Linkong's eyes widened when he saw this scene. He could not believe that Yang Hanwu did not use the two treasures of the dragons and actually avoided his attack. One should know that his punch was locked onto Yang Hanwu's spiritual aura. How overbearing was the power of this punch? It instantly destroyed the place where the fist force passed. The space was penetrated by the overbearing fist force. However, Yang Hanwu avoided his overbearing punch and even saved the two women. Such speed was too terrifying. This is the power of space. It's actually the power of space. Taitsong Linkong's eyes flashed with an even stronger killing intent. Moreover, Yang Hanwu's comprehension of the power of space seemed to have reached an extremely profound level. If not, it would be impossible for him to avoid his punch with the help of spatial teleportation. His punch contained the supreme power of fist principle. Countless geniuses had died under this punch. Even an early-stage divine emperor would definitely die in front of his punch. Yet, Yang Hanwu, a fifth-level divine lord martial artist, actually avoided his attack and even saved the two women in that instant. This kind of speed was too astonishing. Very good. I did not expect that you actually comprehended the powerful power of space, Great Tao. No wonder you're so arrogant. Taitsong Linkong looked at Yang Hanwu and said coldly, "However, without the treasures, even if you have comprehended the power of space, Great Tao, in my eyes, you are still trash. In my eyes, no one can stop me." Taitsong Linkong's words were very arrogant. Although the attack did not kill Yang Hanwu did not have the two dragons' treasures in his hands now. The suppression on him had been completely lifted. Even if Yang Hanwu was the owner of the two treasures had been sealed by him. Unless Yang Hanwu killed himself, it was impossible for Yang Hanwu to summon the two treasures. Therefore, Taitsong Linkong was not worried at all. Moreover, he still had a huge trump card, which was this palace. This palace was actually a powerful treasure. This treasure could only be activated by the people of the Taitsong dragons. In fact, Yang Hanwu's body had the bloodline power of the Taitsong dragons. However, he did not have the technique to activate this treasure. However, Taitsong Linkong could do it. In this Taitsong sacred hall, he was the real master. If you had escaped just now, perhaps you would have had a chance to live. However, you did not cherish it. After saying that, Taitsong Linkong attacked again. Taitsong Linkong's body changed. Dazzling golden light erupted from his body. In an instant, Taitsong Linkong turned into a real dragon. He was mighty and domineering. Yang Hanwu narrowed his eyes and sneered in his heart. After the transformation, Taitsong Linkong's body contained a terrifying power. This kind of aura was very powerful. Even among the enemies that Yang Hanwu had encountered, it was very powerful and ranked very high. However, this kind of power was still much weaker than Zhang Yin and Zhang Shi. Although Taitsong Linkong was powerful, he was only in the divine emperor realm. Compared to the experts of the Emperor realm, he was too far away. As long as the opponent was not an expert of the Emperor realm, Yang Hongwu was confident that he could deal with him. Yang Hongwu's biggest trump card was the formation. Although there was no way to use the Dragon Transformation Pagoda and the Dragon Gate, he still had other treasures, such as the Scroll of Fortune and the Destruction Sky Palace. These two treasures were both extremely powerful and domineering. Moreover, Yang Hongwu also had another treasure that was even more powerful, and that was the Life Seal. Now, the Life Seal in Yang Hongwu's hand was much more powerful than before. After all, the current Common People's Great Seal had already merged with the fragments of the Common People's Great Seal of the Common People's Great Seal of the Common People's Great Seal of the Common People's Continent. However, he didn't need to use the Life Seal to deal with Taitsong Linkong. If he had to use the Life Seal to deal with Taitsong Linkong, then how would he be able to deal with the true pinnacle powerhouses of the deity realm? Originally, Yang Hongwu thought that the Common People's God Domain was the same as Odega God Domain. The strongest experts were only God Emperors. It was impossible for God Monarchs to exist in this world. However, the Common People's God Domain posed a greater threat to Yang Hongwu than Odega God Domain. Common People's God Domain, the strong ones among them, were even more terrifying and powerful. This could be seen from the terrifying existences sealed in the Common People's God Domain. Although the Odega God Domain had also sealed experts, it was still inferior to the sealed experts in the Common People's God Domain. Transform into a dragon, Yang Hongwu looked at Taitsong Linkong with cold, killing intent in his eyes. Great dragon-locking formation, open. Yang Hongwu shouted. An array of light burst out with Yang Hongwu as the center. It instantly turned into a huge chain and trapped the huge azure dragon in it. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.